Make sure you pull your video up on your stream.
On the Fan Upstate.
We are live in Spartanburg, 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Ingalls Markets inside the Corner Cafe. Cole, this is our first time doing the show live from Spartanburg.
Thank God.
Yeah, I know. It's closer to you. It's a long way for me. I spent a lot of I spent like a quarter of a tank of gas to get up.
It's about time.
Yeah,
it's about time we do a show in Spartanburg.
It's a long way, man. A lot of big stuff happening today on the show. We're going to have a representative from the brand new Spartanburg baseball team joining us on the show. Tyson Jeffers, GM of Spartanburg Baseball Club. Not for long will it be known as Spartanburg Baseball Club. As a matter of fact, Cole, on Saturday, we're going to be there for the reveal. We're going to find out what the new name for the Spartanburg baseball team is going to be. We're going to try to maybe squeeze some details out of Tyson Jeffers, the GM of the club, at 4:35 today. So be listening up for that. Those of you in Spartanburg.
Plot twist.
What?
Plot twist.
Yeah?
That's the name.
Spartanburg
Baseball team. Spartanburg Baseball Club.
All right. Somebody really likes Washington football team.
Yes.
So that, you know what? All right.
What would people's reaction be?
The Spartanburg Baseball Club. Oh,
that would be fantastic just for the comedic relief.
Yeah.
Oh,
I got some questions, man. I'm going to try to 20 questions this guy, see if we can get the answer out of. You don't think so? No nothing at all.
I've already tried.
Oh well, maybe it's a poor decision of his to come on this show because man, I don't know if you know this, Cole. I used to work for the CIA. I have interrogation skills. Okay, I will get the information out of him. I will get some nugget. I will get at least one nugget out of this guy coming up at 4:35 today on the show. But, man, it's great to be here at Ingalls Cafe with all the great people shopping here in Spartanburg. We want to see you again, 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Highway in Spartanburg. So come on by. We got a $25 Ingalls gift card to give away. As a matter of fact, we've got clues coming up in the very next segment. Try to win a $25 Ingalls gift card. We'll give out the clues. If you think you know the answer, come on by, see our promo guy, Corey, whisper the answer into his ear, and if you have it right, your name goes in the hat. I mean, think about that, guys. That's dinner covered tonight at the Ingalls Deli. Get yourself a deli item. You can get yourself a cake. I mean, come on. Who doesn't look like a hero if you come home with a cake? That literally does not matter what kind of cake you come home with. You are going to be a hero. $25, spend it however you want. That could be yours. First clue coming up in the very next segment here on Wire to Wire. I'm Diesel. To my left is Cole Bryson. If you're watching on the stream, he would be to my right, but in real life, he's to my left. You got to do a little swap thing. Either way,
I'm here.
We're here. We're together. And Cole, you were on the road this morning. We're going to talk about it a little bit later on, I think in the very next segment. But you were up at Quail Hollow today.
Yeah, we'll talk about
enjoy some of that. Yeah,
5:20. I'll tell you about Wells Fargo Championship. Who I saw. I did a little follow.
You didn't have to swipe your credit card to get in, did you?
No, I got invited.
Okay.
So
I thought they might just swipe it and put $1,000 hold on it just in case.
No, not to my knowledge, they didn't.
Well, good.
It was fun though. We'll talk about it.
Cole came back down to South Carolina with the same amount of money, almost the same amount of money in his pocket as when he left. Speaking of money in the pocket, Cole, this is a piece of news that broke yesterday. That if you are a fan of paying players whatever they want, Rob Brown, you're not going to be happy when you hear this audio. You know why? Because I think it signifies a growing trend, something that's coming around. Coaches aren't really keen on all this NIL business. Brian Kelly here, Brandon, in the clip that we have, Brian Kelly says that he is not in the business of doing this thing.
We're selling something a little bit differently, and that is we want to recruit. We want to engage, build relationships. We want to develop, retain, and have success. We're not in the market of buying players. And unfortunately, right now, that's what some guys are looking for. They want to be bought. And look, I understand NIL is part of this. And we have an incredible collective. We have very, very generous opportunities around the Great Baton Rouge area for NIL opportunities. So they are here, but we're not going to go out and buy players. That's not what this is about. This was never about that.
It's great to hear another big name coach at a huge football school finally say that out loud, Cole, because if you're Dabo Swinney, you got to feel like you've been on an island with this for the past couple of years.
You know, I hear you, and I don't disagree. I just like when I hear that audio, the first thing that comes to my mind is, Diesel, is Brian Kelly going to suffer from Dabotism? Is Brian Kelly going to venture down the same road that Dabo's ventured down? And what I mean by that is Brian Kelly going to hold firm and not use the portal? Obviously, he's brought in more portal guys than Dabo has. You know why? Because Dabo's brought in 0, so one's more than 0. But even though I agree with the way that Brian Kelly brings that message across, the bottom line is, Diesel, whether you like it or not, and you and I have talked about it a million times, you're a coach. You have to adapt to it, right?
Yeah, I think you have to. I think you have to play the game the way the game is currently set up, and understand that there's a good chance that the game will change under your feet in a couple of years. Maybe we have some sort of sweeping legislation call that gets all this under control. I don't know. We thought we had sweeping legislation that had payment for players under control 40 years ago, but somehow Eric Dickerson wound up with a gold Trans Am in his driveway. I mean, it was all under the table. See, it's really for the fans, Cole, that say things like, this is ruining college football and I don't like it. Like this, it's the same thing that was going on 40 years ago, except now you know where the money's coming from for the most part. Like, you know that these guys are getting paid. Back in the day, we all knew, or we thought we knew, that players were getting paid, but it was under the table. It was, you could ignore it. You could stick your head in the sand and pretend that it wasn't happening. But again, we all knew that it was. How is it that the quarterback of the team was driving a brand new sports car on campus when his parents didn't have 2 nickels to rub together?
2 what?
Nickels.
I think perception is reality. And what I mean is, like, we knew, to your point, Diesel, we knew that before NIL and transfer portal took over college football, everyone, for the most part, I don't want to generalize the entire nation, but most people knew that there were players getting paid, okay? However, as you said, it wasn't publicized. It wasn't legal. It wasn't as heavy as it is now. And what I mean is, you weren't seeing the amounts of money thrown around publicly. As we said, it may have been going on behind the scenes. We all know that it probably was at most places, but it wasn't public. And perception is reality. Because it wasn't public, the perception was, oh, it's pure, it's not happening. We don't have to worry about it.
Let's be real, college football ain't never been pure. Not at the highest level, not when it comes to competition for athletes.
So my point is, going back to the Brian Kelly, whether you agree with it, and I think this is where people get caught up. Yesterday, you and I talked about this with Rob Brown's Our Beef back and forth. People do not understand, Diesel, that you can acknowledge something, disagree with it, but at the same time understand that you have to adapt to it. Sure. What I mean is, we can all acknowledge that NIL is here. We can all agree or disagree, but, however, whether we agree or disagree, especially as a coach, shouldn't dictate whether we use NIL and use the portal or not. Dabo and Brian Kelly, for as much as I love both of those coaches, I'm a big fan of both of them, Diesel. However,
you really like family?
Family. Listen, for as little as Dabo's done in the portal, you cannot, as a coach, allow your opinion of what's going on to impact the way that you run your program. Sure. And I think that's where Dabo's gone wrong.
Yeah, and let's not pretend like LSU doesn't have NIL opportunities for its student athletes. On3.com tracks the NIL valuations of athletes school by school. And LSU has some athletes making a lot of money. I mean, redshirt junior quarterback Garrett Nussmeier has a $1.1 million NIL valuation. Does that mean he's been paid $1 million? I don't know. But whatever that means, he's got $1 million valuation. Flau'jae Johnson on the women's basketball team, a $1.2 million valuation. And then, of course, there's Livy Dunn, who's got a $3.9 million valuation.
That's a different story.
That just blows me away, Cole. And I do wonder how many schools find this to be the truth, right? That female athletes on campus are actually making more money in NIL than the male athletes are. Well, I'd be curious to know that answer, those who track NIL. But
we know why Livy Dunn.
Oh, yeah, because she is a smoke show, right? She's a 10. She's
I was going to say she's good gymnastics.
Well, she's good at that too, but she's good at other things as well, Cole. But no, we've heard from Clemson reps, people inside the program who have told us that Clemson has offered guys NIL money and opportunities to come to Clemson, but they're just not accepting those opportunities. Yeah. And what that says to me, Cole, I'm not here accusing anybody of anything. I'm not
demonizing.
I'm not demonizing the people inside the Clemson athletic office. But Cole, maybe it's possible that Clemson, as a policy, chooses to undercut some of these offers and say, hey, we know that Tennessee's offering you $100,000 to come there. Well, we can offer you an NIL opportunity worth $15,000. Well, what decision is that kid going to make, right? I mean, yeah. Clemson is essentially potentially making it easy for student athletes to turn down these opportunities. But Brian Kelly said it right there. A lot of these guys want to be bought. And right now, while the rules are what the rules are, these guys are going to continue wanting to be bought. The question becomes, though, Cole, how many coaches are going to be willing to let their program slip in order to maintain some righteousness? That seems to be what Dabo Swinney is willing to do. He seems to be willing to let Clemson football slip a little bit, let them lose one more game a year or win one fewer game per year in order to show that he's right, that he can still do it his way. And maybe, Cole, one of these days things come back around that allows Dabo to do things the way that he did them 5 to 10 years ago. But we have no reason to believe that is imminent. So no, it should be on Dabo to change the way he wants to operate things. But we're seeing here, Cole, that many big-time coaches, Lane Kiffin has offered up his criticisms of NIL. Lane Kiffin is sure as hell using NIL to bring Ole Miss to a place that it's never been before. He ain't going to lose because of NIL. But you've got big-name coaches all speaking out saying this is not good for the internal health of the sport.
Do you believe? Let us know on the text line, 71307. Start your text with the word fan. Phone lines open as well, 844-FAN-PHONE. Do you believe that Brian Kelly is going down and venturing down the same road as Dabo Swinney? Let us know what you think. To Diesel's point, I will say that Brian is, I believe, this is Cole's opinion, I believe that Brian does share similar beliefs as Dabo. However, I do think that Brian understands, unlike Dabo does, that my opinion doesn't matter, and that's the mindset you have to have. Yes, Diesel, you're right. There are more college coaches, big-time coaches speaking out about this, but I look at Nick Saban, who just retired not long ago. Alabama, guess what? Nick Saban, I'm sure if you put Nick Saban and Dabo Swinney in a room together, they would both agree. They'd both have the same feelings. They both share the same ideologies when it comes to the new era of college football. But guess what? I can promise you that Nick Saban isn't sitting there saying, well, I just refuse to do it. I just refuse to get on the train. I'm going to allow my program to suffer. If what you said is right and Dabo is allowing his program to suffer because of it, I say that's a pitiful excuse and that you should not have a job in the modern era of college football if you can adapt to it. I'm tired of the excuses. I don't care if you like it. I don't care if you disagree with it. When the boss says to do something, you do it, regardless of if you agree or disagree. You and I both have disagreements and agreements with our boss all the time. But at the end of the day, you do what your boss says. Dabo, your boss is college football. You do what they say. You use the NIL. You adapt with a transfer portal. If not, take a hike. I'm sorry, but that's the way it is.
And this man sitting to my left is a Clemson fan. If anybody in Tiger Town is listening to the station right now, this is coming from a Clemson fan, okay? This is the point where Clemson fans have reached. They're exhausted by this. They're done with this. They want to get back to high-level winning ways, and they want to stop with the excuses. But all that being said, Rosters are what rosters are. Coaches finally know now who is on their team. They can actually get to work. As big as we all made the transfer portal out to be, especially the spring window, Chip Patterson over at CBS Sports wrote about it and said there's been really kind of a lack of juicy moves, right? He goes, this spring portal window has really been characterized by stability, not instability. Okay, so a lot of rosters, have been set for a while, and everybody is finally able to settle things down a little bit and actually get to work. But Cole, we as fans now, it is up to us to put this conversation to bed about the transfer portal window, about the transfer portal and how it's affecting and how it's ruining college football. Because guess what? Rosters are set. We can actually start focusing on this stuff now.
Yeah.
We can start focusing on why we all loved college football in the first place. The tailgating, the going to see old friends, stepping foot on campuses again, telling your wife, telling your girlfriend, telling your kids, hey, remember a couple of years when I was a freshman, I threw up in that corner over there. Wasn't it great? And, hey, we pounded keggers over there after the big game in our junior year. Like, all those things are still there. None of those things have gone away, Cole. We can actually start remembering why we love the sport.
I agree. The reality of it is none of us became college football fans because the players weren't getting paid.
Sure.
However, I want people to understand, just like our conversation yesterday with Rob Brown, people need to have more of an open mind and understand just because we say you have to adapt doesn't mean we have to agree with it. You can still disagree with something and go along and adapt to it.
Remember, it was Nick Saban who said, is this really what we want college football to be? And that was a challenge, okay? That was a warning from Nick Saban to say, I'm going to do what it takes to win.
Sure.
And I'm going to be better than all of you at this. And I'm going to kick your ass at all of this stuff. If this is what you want it to be, buckle up. We're going.
JD on the stream says it's very hard to believe that powerhouse LSU can't buy players. So, yeah, maybe he is taking the Dabo and Nick approach. If he's trying to stand up against it, he may as well walk out when he stands. Todd Richardson on the stream also says, listening from work to you guys, have been listening to this station for 10 years now. And TR, Todd, that means a ton. We appreciate you listening and being a Tolo. That stands for turn it on, leave it on.
Yeah, you Tolos, let us know where you're listening from. Let us know where you're watching from. Text in 71307. Start your text with keyword fan. You can get on the stream on Facebook, on Twitter, and on YouTube. Search for the Fan Upstate. Tell us, Tolos, where you're consuming the show from. We are broadcasting from Ingalls Markets here at 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Highway in Spartanburg. Coming up in just a couple of minutes, we'll have your first clue and your chance to win a $25 gift card to Ingalls Markets, Cole. But here's the truth. All this boils down to this, Cole. You may find some elements of college football distasteful, but don't let it ruin your love of the game. Focus on that white tiger paw on a field of orange on the side of the helmet, or that block C on black, or that arrowhead on crimson. Focus on that. Remember why you love college football, because, man, we're just a couple of months away.
Ricky on the stream says, listening from Gaffney on the text line. Ricky, we appreciate you listening, by the way.
What's up, Ricky?
On the text line, texter chimes in on the Spartanburg baseball conversation when you mentioned that we would be out there Saturday. The texter says, Spartanburg cicadas. That would be highly disappointing. Also, texter
What, are we
says,
going to win every 17 years?
that would be pretty accurate. Pretty accurate. Another texter says, Shed Surratt will hopefully be a Gamecock soon. Go Indians. We appreciate we got two people already commenting in Gaffney this morning, or this afternoon, rather. It is afternoon. We appreciate you listening. We're live on Facebook, live on Twitter, live on YouTube. Tony on the stream says, Dabo's been paying players for years. He's just mad everyone else can do it legally now. Bam!
Tony, where's your proof? Where's your proof, Tony? I'm not defending Dabo at all. Show me some proof. Show me what you got, Tony. You got nothing.
You think he's wrong?
You tell me. I don't know. Maybe he's got some inside knowledge. And
but
if
you
he's
said
got
earlier
knowledge,
they've been paying players for years.
Yeah. Well,
they've been paying players. Everybody knows they've been paying players for years. The best players. Melissa knows it. Yes or no, Melissa? Yes. That's true. You're right. Melissa, we'll talk to Melissa here.
She don't want to talk about Florida State players.
No.
Spur Daddy says he's a Tolo listening from Duncan, home of the Rebels.
Appreciate you listening, Spur
Yeah,
Daddy.
Spur Daddy.
We'll continue this conversation later on in the program. I do think they've been paying players for years.
Sure.
If you know
Everyone
people,
has.
you know that. All right, coming up next. Last night, this past weekend, have we seen what Clemson baseball's vulnerability could be in the postseason? Could their vulnerability be the bullpen? Is the bullpen what is making this Clemson team a liability? Is it what's making them vulnerable? We'll talk about it next.
.844 fan phone. This is Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
Getting some good interaction, text messages, phone calls, messages on the stream, live on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook about the very last segment. It's a hot topic. It's a hot button topic being in the upstate. A lot of Clemson fans, what do you have to say? We'll continue it as long as you want to. Before we get into Clemson baseball and their bullpen being a little bit of a question mark. Let's go to the Renewal by Anderson fan phone. Ed in Greenville wants to chime in. What's up, Ed?
What's going on, gentlemen? First time listener. I'm in Greenville for work. Just wanted to chime in. I coach high school football, and before NIL became a real thing, we had a player committed to NC State, and Georgia came, wanted to offer our boy, and they walked in with a briefcase and said, "Let us know how much it'll take for you to become a dog." Well, within 1 month, he was committed to Georgia.
Wow,
I love
Ed,
it. I love it, Ed.
Man, that feels like the plot to a movie. Just walking in with a briefcase. I mean, I would do it up, right? I would chain that thing to my wrist just to make a big show out of it.
That's great.
But the problem here, Ed, is that these kids can take a huge payday like that to commit to Georgia as a freshman, and then guess what? A year from now, do it again. Go to Florida. A year from then, do it again. Go to Texas. A year from then, do it again. Go to Alabama. I mean, they can do it. There's no such, you can buy the player, but the problem is you can't buy the player's loyalty.
And
that's the biggest thing we've been talking about for days on this show. That's what we got into it with Rob Brown. There's no such thing as loyalty and commitment with these kids, even if you're throwing a lot of money at them.
Ed, your opinion, your thoughts on it. We know it's all been happening for years. One of our messages on the stream from Tony said Dabo's been paying players for years. We know that Spurrier was probably most definitely doing the same thing. Why is it now, in your opinion, that the perception's changed?
Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
When you know it's true, you can tarnish the ones that you don't like, and so I was happy it happened because I hate Georgia and hate Kirby, so I loved it.
And Ed, there's a big part of it. I think also people love it. Fans love it when their school does it and gets the guy, but they hate it when their school loses the guy.
Thanks for the call, Ed. We appreciate you, man. Really appreciate you tuning in.
Thanks, Ed.
All right.
Cole, we do have, before we get into our next topic, we have your first clue and your chance to win a $25 Ingles gift card. Again, we are here live at 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Highway in Spartanburg. We have your chance to win a $25 Ingles gift card. I've got 4 clues, 1 an hour. If you think you know the answer to the clue, you've got to come here, and you've got to see Corey, who's sitting right off camera over here to my right. You can whisper the answer in his ear. If you've got the right answer, you get to drop your name in the hat to win a $25 gift card. So here we go, guys. Clue number 1. Multicolor varieties with multiple meanings. Multicolored varieties with multiple meanings. So you got the same item that comes in several different colors. Each color means something different. If you think you know what product it is that we're talking about that is on sale and available at every single Ingles market, come on down here. Give Corey the answer. You drop your name in the hat. You can text it in, but that's not going to get you entered into the $25 gift card. We'll tell you if you're right or wrong, texters. But sorry, you're not entered to win the $25 gift card. You have to be here.
So, leading into this segment, I asked the question, is what we've seen the last few days and last night in particular, Clemson this past weekend, Georgia Tech, we watched both games on Friday during the show because both games were on. I think the first game started at noon. We saw the 11-4 win for Clemson, and then we saw Game 2, 14-12 loss. Last night, we saw Clemson go to Truist Field in Charlotte and win and take care of business. So, I want to be very clear. Clemson's taking care of business. Clemson baseball is doing what they're supposed to do, right? However, even though your team at times may be winning, I encourage you and I challenge you to be as neutral as you can in reading more than just the score. What I mean by that is we talk about this in the NFL all the time. Your team may be winning, but guess what? If your team can't run the football, if your team is getting a lot of points from the defense and your offense is sputtering, you can't run the ball, you can't protect the quarterback, you have a great defense, you're still managing to win games, which is what you're supposed to do. However, I challenge you to look deeper. I think we're in a very similar scenario right now with Clemson baseball. They're winning games. They won 17-7. They beat Louisville 12-11 back on the 26th of April. May 3rd, last Friday. They go out, guns a-blazing, beat Georgia Tech 11-4. However, game 2, you score 14 runs. When you score 14 runs in college baseball, I don't care what level of baseball it is, college baseball, pro, you name it, when you score that many runs, you should win a game. Last night, Clemson wins 14-12. So 2 games within just 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
Friday and last night, Clemson wins. However, they're also allowing a ton of runs. My point is, Clemson's doing their job. They're taking care of business. They're winning games. However, I challenge you as a Clemson fan to really dig deeper, because I do think that as good as Clemson baseball is, as good as Tristan Smith is, as good as that starting rotation is, there are issues in the bullpen. And right now, they're cruising because they're playing Georgia Tech, they're playing Louisville, they're playing Boston College. They're going to score a lot of runs, but look who they're playing. My point is, when postseason gets here, Diesel, I do believe that Clemson's liability will be their bullpen, because while they're winning, they're allowing a lot of runs down the stretch, which is not good.
Yeah, they gave up 12 runs at Charlotte last night. It wasn't at Charlotte. It was at Truist Field, but it's essentially a Charlotte home game. 5 runs in the 4th for Charlotte, 4 runs in the 7th. That's the problem, Cole. You should be able to shut a team like Charlotte down in the second half of that baseball game. Even if they score a couple of runs off of your middle inning receiver, you can't be giving up 4 runs in the 7th inning. Clemson had to score 4 in the 9th to come back and win that game. So they were down 2 runs coming out of the 7th inning, and they had to score 4 in the 9th to win that game by 2. So that is definitely a problem. I mean, again, you got to give the Clemson Bats credit for being able to score throughout that game. 2 in the 1st, 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 4 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, blanked in the 6th, 7th, and 8th, and then 4 runs in the 9th. So give Clemson credit for being able to score throughout that entire game, but that bullpen, man, is going to get you in some trouble late.
Texter says, Cole, you're reaching on this one, and your Gamecock is showing. Well, Texter, number one, you're very uninformed, because I'm not a Gamecock fan. Never have I been a Gamecock fan. What I am telling you is I'm unbiased, as I'm supposed to be, hosting a radio show. I don't know why Clemson fans get upset when you point things like this out.
Hey,
again, it goes back to what I put on Facebook the other day. Be a fan, cheer for your team, but just like Tiger Pal Rachel said the other day, be able to see reality. And a lot of you idiots can't see reality.
Truth is, Cole, a lot of people, if what they want is biased opinions that tell them everything is great and that nothing is wrong with their team, they just need to shut their mouths and listen to their own thoughts, because that's the only place they're going to get biased opinions that tell them everything they want to hear.
There's a place for that. I'll tell you that right now. If you're a fan and all you want to do is be pumped up and told how great your team is, there's a place for it. If you're a Clemson fan, there's a place for it. If you're a South Carolina fan, there's a place for it. But that place isn't here. I'm a Clemson fan. I'm not going to sugarcoat things and act like everything's fine and dandy. Just because you're a Clemson fan doesn't mean you can't be a realist. Doesn't mean you can't say, wow, we are winning. We're also allowing a ton of runs down the stretch. Our bullpen isn't holding up very well. Our infield, they're giving up way too many errors. I know a coach will tell you, well, at the end of the day, you want to win the game. I get that. But Diesel, look deeper. I challenge the fans, look deeper than just the scoreboard, the win or the loss, the W or the L. Look deeper, because that's when you get to the postseason, okay? When you get to the postseason, please call me back, text me back when you get knocked out by Georgia in the regional because your team gave up 9 runs.
Well, that's what happens, Cole. People will say things like this. It's like, geez, man, I was just joking around. Yeah, but guys like that, you disappear when you're proven wrong. You disappear when somebody like Cole tells you the truth, and then it comes true later on down the road. Okay? Y'all never come back and say, you know what, Cole? You remember on May 8th at 3:30 in the afternoon when I got you all riled up? That was my fault because you were right. Those people never come back around and say these things.
And by the way, Texter, I see your text that you were just messing with you. However, what I want you to realize is without us clicking on the number that you texted in from, if you texted a long message, we cannot see the full text. So if you, in the very last sentence or the very last words of your text say, I'm just kidding, I probably 9 times out of 10 am not going to see that text just reading through with the amount of text we get. However, Texter, even though you are kidding, you are the reality because there are fans like you. There are people that do believe that. There are people that I post something on Facebook, and they're Clemson fans. Even though you were kidding, Sheezy, I know you were just joking, but the reality of it is there's a lot of moronic fans out there that say the exact same thing you do, and guess what? They're not kidding because they only see through their orange-colored glasses.
Well, Cole, some people just need to be made example of every now and again. And even though, Sheezy, you personally were joking, like you said, there are a lot of people who that is the way they think. And these are things they need to hear. You know why? Because when things don't go their way, they throw their hands up in the air. Oh, my God, the sky is falling. Fire the coach, fire the coach, fire the coach. Those are those people, the ones that overreact because you lacked the ability to think critically when it was necessary.
Brandon on the stream says infield and bullpen weak and makes a lot of mistakes. I agree with you, Brandon. You're exactly right. The infield, I've been at games this year. I've watched games. Chufa and then Will Taylor in the outfield, those guys being out, it doesn't help. But to your point, they're making way too many mistakes. Can this team clean up the mistakes and stop allowing so many runs? I believe they can. I believe they have the talent on the roster to do so. However, the bottom line is you've got 2 weeks to figure it out. The good news for Clemson is, and again, get ready. Here we go. You play Wake Forest this weekend. Wake Forest is a good team. I'll give you Wake Forest. They're a good team. But you get Coastal and Boston College for 4 games. Let's be honest. You're going to win 4 in a row to end the season. Most likely you're going to win 6 of the last 7 of the last 8 if you include last night's win over Charlotte. So you're going to be playing really well going into the postseason. You are the second best team in baseball. I just caution you to say, even though your record's phenomenal, even though you're number 2, that doesn't mean you still can't make mistakes and improve on things.
Cole, this is something we need to track going down the stretch. With 4 games left for Clemson, how many runs are they giving up after the 3rd inning? So from the 4th until the end of the game.
Too many.
If the number is more than 3 per game max, then you've got a problem. Then you've got a big old problem. Shout out to Wesley Roberts, Tolo Wesley Roberts, who says he's watching the show from Puerto Rico. What's up, Wesley?
Said he moved there.
Says he moved there for work, but he's splitting time between Puerto Rico and Greenville.
Wesley, what do you do for work, buddy?
Yeah, can we get on that?
What do you do
guys
for
hiring?
What do you do for work in Puerto Rico?
Trey says, Cole, I'll bring you an Under Armour Gamecocks hat to wear on the stream. We will take you into the family. Trey, what Cole needs to know, as his agent, what I need to know is what kind of NIL opportunities are you offering?
Trey, hey, come see us, man.
Everybody is for sale, Trey.
Come on, Trey. Sheezy on the text line says, I'm here every day, fellas. I ain't going anywhere. Love you guys. I was trolling those people for sure. Sheezy, I know you were. I get it. But I'm telling you what, again, going back to what I said, I know I was just messing with you, but I hear that every day. I hear it every day on Twitter. I hear it every day on Facebook. If you don't say what the fans want you to hear, you're a Gamecock homer, and vice versa, you're a tater. I've already, been called that this week, so what's new?
We are live here today at 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Highway in Spartanburg. The clue, again, if you missed it, multicolor varieties with multiple meanings. If you think you know what product that describes, you come on down here, you give us the answer. You could win a $25 Ingles gift card. That could be dinner for the family tonight here at the Ingles Deli. Cole, I know what I am already going to take home when I head home to the wife. I know what I'm going to pick up from the Ingles Deli on my way out of here. So I will be eating Ingles Deli food tonight for dinner. Cole, when we come back, Shaq has done something, or he said something that may shock you, and I want to know, Are you willing to do the same things Shaq does in his beauty regimen? That's coming up next. He's Cole Bryson. My name is Diesel. You're the Tolos, and we are the Fan Upstate.
stream.
Congratulations to Tolo's Eric and Diane. They came in and on the very first clue, Cole, got the answer to our product.
There's no way.
It's available at every single Ingles market. Now,
That's impressive.
We're impressed by them and their ability to get the answer to the clue, but that doesn't mean that they necessarily win the prize. Their name goes in the hat. They have a chance to win this prize.
They're on the leaderboard, right?
Yes, that means you still have a chance to come down here and win this prize as well. Again, we give away a $25 Ingles gift card each and every time we're here live at an Ingles market. The first hour clue is multicolored varieties with multiple meanings. If you think you know what product that is, come on down here, tell us the answer, and you will put your name in the hat. Right. Again,
who writes these? Jay Wilson? Does Jay Wilson
do you write these clues?
Who's these clues? I need to know. Melissa wrote them.
Melissa.
I don't know the answer.
Did you write one that's too easy? Because we already have a. Yes, she did.
Diesel knows it. I don't know it yet, by the way.
Well, I cheated. I scrolled down. I read the answer to the.
Okay.
I read the answer. But hey, if you don't yet know the answer to the product, we'll give you another clue coming up here in just about 45 minutes here on Wire to Wire on the Fan Upstate. Cole, but we talk about it all the time, how much we love Inside the NBA, the TV show that is by far the best sports show, analysis show, because you know what? It's not really all sports analysis. There's a little bit of sports analysis, but there's a whole lot of these stars just goofing off, having a good time. You know these guys love each other. They probably fight off the air, but that makes the show better. But Cole, here's an interview clip that might shock some of you. Something that is in Shaquille O'Neal's beauty regimen and just how much money he spends on getting this done.
When you get a pedicure, how much does it cost?
I give about $1,000. I know my feet stink. I know they're ugly, and I like to paint them. See, all this stuff that's going on, I paint because it's ugly. I want to look pretty. Stop right there. That's why I paint my. And then, true story. One time I had a toenail that was torn off, and I wasn't gonna play the game. My mom was like, "Baby, why you not playing the game?" Like, I tore my toenail off. So she did something, and then she put like some red polish on and everything, and I had 40 of them. I was like, you know what, I need to start painting my toes.
You do a solid color, or you got like designs?
I do like sparkles and designs and all that stuff. You know, just to make it look good, because I have ugly, stinky feet.
$1,000 to get his nails done, to get his toenails done. My man is completely comfortable and secure, and maybe there's a a little bit of superstition involved. But whatever it is, Shaquille O'Neal, one of the largest, most successful men on this planet, gets pedicures. What's your reaction to that, Cole?
Number one, it doesn't surprise me that he gets pedicures.
Have you ever had one?
So
it's okay.
Yes, I have had two. Let me tell you why, though. I've had two.
Okay.
And I want to show our audience on the stream. Not lately. They haven't been lately.
Ew.
Okay? They have not been lately at all, as you can see.
Looks like a can of Vienna sausages.
So I'll tell you why I had to get the pedicures twice. For whatever reason, when the good Lord made me, when he spit me out, it doesn't stink that bad. I get, Diesel.
You've been at the golf course all day.
I get ingrown toenails.
Mm-hmm.
And the ladies at the toenail parlors are very, very good at removing the ingrown toenails. So I have gotten a pedicure twice. Number one, it hurts like you know what. Have you ever had an ingrown toenail?
I have not. Yes, I have. It does hurt.
Oh, it's terrible.
It sucks.
It's terrible. Yeah. So it hurts, and then when you get a pedicure, when they get that little sponge thing and start scratching or rubbing the bottom of your foot, that's a no-go. That's a no-go.
Is it too ticklish for you?
It tickles, and I'm
come
yelling.
on, man.
And it's making a scene.
Come on. You don't let the ladies tickle your feet?
No, I can't do it. I cannot do it. But, yes, to answer your question, I've gotten two pedicures, not by choice, though.
Not by choice. No, man. You should start getting them by choice.
Do you?
I've gotten a few, yeah. It's nice. It's nice. But it feels weird, and this is where I agree with Shaq, okay? Shaq's got big, stinky feet, so he's charging he's paying $500 a foot to get his feet worked on and to get his nails done. I'm sure they have to, go get a gallon of paint to paint those big old toenails. But, it feels nice. That's guys. You male Tolos out there. We know that a majority of our audience
They're not
are
going
males.
to admit it. They're not going to
I
admit
think
it.
they should.
There's
I
no
think
way.
they should. I do wonder, Cole, and I want to know from the male Tolos who are listening, 71307, start your text with keyword fan, or on the stream, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Admit it. Have you ever gotten a pedicure? By choice.
There will
By
be
choice.
zero. I'm
Oh,
telling
come
you right
on.
now, zero.
It
I'm calling.
doesn't make you soft.
I promise.
It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't make you a semifinalist in the Dutch national dart tournament to get your nails done.
You went
okay,
there.
it's totally fine if that's what you want to do. But it does feel weird, Cole. And Shaq said it. I got big stinky feet. It feels a little weird to have somebody you don't know just sitting down there working on your feet, right? It's a little like I feel bad.
I feel more scared that somebody's going to walk in that I know. Like, hey, Cole, what are you doing here?
We should go together.
No.
Yeah, we'll make a show out of it. How about that?
No. No shot.
Well, welcome, Bob Humphreys.
Unless that Vietnamese spy over there starts sponsoring Wire to Wire, that's a no. The day they start sponsoring.
Well, good news is Jay Wilson from sales is here. Jay, we need a nail salon to do our toenails. Bob Humphreys on the stream says, I'm new to listening, found you guys about 3 weeks ago. Well, Bob, welcome to the show. A brand new Tolo
That's what
on the
I'm
show.
talking about, Bob.
Yeah, man. Thank you much for being here. But, Shaq getting his – I mean, what does surprise me, though, Cole, is that he gets the sparkly designs, okay? Like, if it was me, though, and I had Shaq-sized feet, and, like, I remember that TV show where Orange County Customs made a motorcycle for Shaq, and the thing was friggin' massive. Like, just knowing that the bike has to be that big, knowing his feet are that big, man, I'd be like getting the Mona Lisa painted on my toenails. I would pay extra for some artwork. You know what I'm saying?
That's a little much.
You get the Lakers logo painted on your toenails, something like that. You could get LeBron's face painted on your toenails because I know you love LeBron so much.
I get it spelled out.
JD would probably get LeBron's face.
I get it spelled out all the way across.
Lebron. That's too many.
Well, I get 2 feet.
J-A-M-E. That's 11 letters.
What about Goat James? GOATJAMES. I'm one short. I get a goat on the last one. All right, coming up next, there was an article that was sent to us. You have got to stick around. This man did something every single day of his life for 6 years straight. What on earth?
He didn't go blind?
No comment.
He has hair on his palms.
He's Diesel. I'm Cole Bryson. Find out what in the heck we're talking about. We're at Ingles, west side of Spartanburg, Warren Abernathy Highway. We'll talk to you next.
Electrifying sports talk from start to finish.
You're going wire to wire
With Diesel and Cole Bryson.
on the Fan Upstate.
Everybody on this station, every single person that texts in, that sends a message on the stream, that calls in, guess what? Everybody loves food. We all can come to that conclusion. We'll debate food. We'll talk about why you're wrong and on the mayonnaise conversation. Ranch, Diesel and I fight about it all the time in the 5 o'clock fight. We talk about food almost as much as we do sports. So I asked the question, and I'm going to get to why I'm asking this question in just a second. But I want to ask the question now and allow you, the listener, to go ahead and get your answers in. 71307. Start your text with the word fan. We're also live Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You can join the chat there. Phone lines open as well. 844-FAN-PHONE. Diesel. Tolos.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the story you just showed me.
Well, I can if you want me to. You want me to? No, I'm not going to talk about that one.
Go ahead. I hear you.
Shut up. If you, Diesel, and our listeners and our Tolos, if for the next 6 years of your life had to eat the same food every day for every meal.
Now, are we allowed to do different varieties of the same basic food?
No,
or it's the exact same meal, prepared the same way, in the same format every time?
For 6 years. The reason I tell you that
breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
That would be 6,570 meals in a row of the exact same thing.
I don't know. That General Tso's chicken that Corey has over here, it smells really good. I want to try some of that.
The reason I asked the question, story on New York Post. This is fascinating. They did an article on a man in New York who for 6 years straight, every meal, 3 meals a day, which again would be 6,570 meals, ate pizza every meal for 6 years. This man, I said New York, I apologize, it was Connecticut. A Connecticut man who claims to love pizza more than anything else in the world, clearly, right, has been scarfing down at least a slice a meal for the last 6 years. The peace-loving Paisano has no plans to slow down, okay? He's going to continue this. 6 years he just met. Even swinging a delicious career change thanks to the help of a local restaurant. It all began with a dare, okay? So the guy in the article that we're talking about says, I used to work for a company that looks after heating and cooling systems. My colleague and I would be on the road all day. The quickest thing for me to grab to eat was a pizza, says Kenny, who this article was about. One day, he said, I bet you couldn't eat it every day for a week, said a buddy of his, right? They were working on heat and air systems. He said, I bet you can't eat a slice of pizza every single day for a week. Well, that extended to a month.
A slice every day for a week? That's easy.
No, I'm sorry. A slice every meal. I apologize.
Okay, that's child's play, man.
A slice a day is easy. Everybody can do that.
Yeah.
So even during the holidays when the local pizzerias were closed, he would drive to the casinos in Connecticut just so he could continue to eat pizza. Even better, on his wedding day, he ordered cheese pies for the entire guest list.
Okay, you had me all the way up until the point this guy, all he eats is cheese pizza. What is he, a 9-year-old? Is he Macaulay Culkin from Home Alone where he orders a cheese pizza? Come on, man.
So, Diesel, he set up an Instagram account just to document this experience. He did it, and he says he's still in good shape. He's still fit. He's still healthy. He says it's the perfect job for him because he can travel, try pizzas from all over the country. Well, Diesel, he goes on to say, this past spring, he had pizza in 10 different U.S. states. He also went to Las Vegas for a pizza convention. His favorite crust, he says, is the thick crust, which I disagree with, by the way. The city, he says, has the best pizza he's ever had, talking about Las Vegas. So, my question to you is, while this guy has eaten pizza every meal for 6 years straight, and for whatever reason, he is still in good shape. If you had to do this, well, rounds of shape, that's true, but we're assuming he means pretty good health. What would you do if you had to pick one food to eat for 6 years straight.
Okay, so first I need answers. So he only ate cheese pizza.
That's correct.
That's it.
That's
He
it.
never put pepperoni on his pizza. He never once put a green pepper on there. No mushrooms. No mozzarella. No extra cheese. No capicola. No gabagool. And they didn't. None of that.
None of it.
Oh my God. Are we sure this guy's taste buds are working fine? Because I mean, I would get exhausted with just cheese. Now, if you told me if I could have any kind of pizza, I'd be like, yeah, I love breakfast pizza. Have you ever had breakfast pizza?
I have.
With
It's
like
good.
eggs and cheese and bacon on it. Breakfast pizza's great.
QT has good breakfast.
Yeah, they do. I could do that, but I couldn't have the exact same meal every
But
meal.
you have to.
Now, I'll give
You
this
have
guy
to.
credit. I'll give this guy credit. Look, I mean, this is the internet age where you can do anything as stupid as you want to do, and somebody will find it, and they will sponsor you, and they will throw money your way. So shout out to this guy.
Sure, that's a smart
for
move.
figuring out a way to make some money and make a career out of this. I mean, eat your heart out, Guy Fieri. This guy has figured out how to make just one food his entire. Like, you don't think this guy ever gets tired of it? And it's just like, you know what? Today, I think I would rather have a cheeseburger.
He probably does. But what food would you pick, though?
I bet he cheated.
What you pick?
I bet he cheated.
No, he
I bet he had a cheeseburger at
The
least.
internet doesn't
You
lie.
telling me not
Diesel.
once in
No.
6 years did the dude have
No.
some chicken wings, some cheeseburger?
No.
No salads. No. Okay.
If it's on the internet, it's true. What food? Give me a food. Corey's going to give me a food.
I
who's
can't
here.
change it at all. It has to be the exact same meal every
food,
time.
6 years, every day,
Oh,
every
man.
meal. What food?
Corey says fried chicken.
There's no way. You would have the highest cholesterol ever.
Hey,
That's true.
yeah.
I couldn't do. I'll get so tired.
I couldn't do it. No, man. Like, are you trying? Like, I mean, the healthy answer is to say a salad, but that's boring as hell.
That's
Nobody's gonna
boring.
do that. Nobody's gonna
That's
have it. Like, you
boring.
telling me I have to have the exact same salad every single meal?
I can't
for
eat a
6
salad for
years?
one meal.
No.
How are you going to do it? I can't do it one meal. It's disgusting. 6 years in a row.
No. I couldn't do it.
You have to. There's no choice.
I have to change it up a little bit.
There's a gun to your head. You
I mean,
have to.
I
Corey's asking me what I would choose. So my first thought was chicken wings.
Mhm.
I'm a chicken wings lover. My heart drops a little bit for chicken wings. My second answer would be, ooh, gosh.
I would have to say I could do pizza every meal, but
You
it
think
couldn't
so?
be. It couldn't be the same pizza every meal.
I'd have heartburn out the
I'd be so bored with it, man. Like pizza, food is one of our great joys in life, right? Like the variety, the flavors. If you're telling me that it just becomes boring where I'm having the exact same thing every single time. Now, there's people out there, Cole, who will have the same meal very often. A lot of times, like
health-wise.
I've heard of people who are like genius level smart, who get really, really focused on a project, and they will have the same meal over and over and over and over again because they believe that taking away the need to go out and forage and find food and figure things out and think about what am I going to have for dinner tonight? What am I going to have? What do I have in the fridge so I can make for lunch?
I have
tomorrow?
heard that.
They say that if you take that element out of the equation, then it frees your brain up to work on the things that you really need to work on.
I agree with JD that if I had to choose a second other than chicken wings, my second would be steak. I do think I could eat steak cooked the right way.
Can I choose grade 5 Wagyu
Yeah,
beef?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I can do
You
that.
can choose whatever you want.
I can do that.
So you have to eat this food every
The
day.
cattle population of Japan's going down.
I want to get to this, Diesel. Another texter, by the way, says ribeye steaks, and bonus, it's the healthiest food for you. I agree. It's very healthy. I don't know. However, two things. Number one, I don't know that eating red meat every day is good for you. I've heard that it's not the best thing to eat.
Your cardiologist would disagree.
Second thing, texter from the 432 says, there was a story about a guy who ate Big Macs every day for years. That's disgusting. I don't know if this texter's referring to this, but do you remember the show they did called, I think it was called Super Size Me.
It was a movie.
It was a movie.
Yeah, it was like a documentary.
That's right.
He ate nothing but McDonald's.
Super Size. Thank you, Brendan. Super Size. Brendan in the studio points out it's called Super Size. And that's what he did, right? It was McDonald's. Was it the same? Was it a burger? Brendan, do you know?
It was super.
Diesel?
It was called Super Size Me.
Supersize
the
Me
guy's name was
had,
Morgan Spurlock.
burger.
The guy's name was Morgan
He had
Spurlock.
chicken,
He
and he
ate
also had,
he ate McDonald's every single meal for trying to figure out how long that was.
A year.
Ooh. for 30 days. It's a 30-day period.
Oh, for those of you.
It was 30 days from February to March 2003.
30
he
days.
ate nothing but McDonald's, and apparently it basically pickled his liver. Like, it was really
30
bad
days?
on him. Yeah,
I was
30
thinking.
days.
I would think that 30 days you can get away with it.
Well, I guess not.
Pickled his
I guess
liver.
not. But however, Cole, now I haven't watched it, but I keep getting suggested this YouTube video every now and again that says what he presented was not necessarily accurate. So people are already poking holes in
You mean in
Super
the
Size
Super
Me.
Size Me
Yeah,
movie?
yeah. Now he did do a TV show. That's what you're thinking of. He
Okay.
did do a TV show where he tried different things for X amount of time. So you're not entirely wrong there, but it was a movie.
2002. Oh my gosh, was he obese?
I think he put on a whole bunch of weight.
I'm reading about that. Is I just am surprised that within 30 days, man. I thought that you might get away with it for 30 days. Trey says on the stream he had to eat every meal at McDonald's. So 3 times a day, Trey, is that what you're saying? First of all, everybody, whether they admit it or not, likes McDonald's.
I don't.
No, yes,
I really
you do.
don't. No, I
Diesel,
don't.
there's no way.
I don't.
This is not the 5 o'clock fight.
I don't like McDonald's.
You know. Are you saying? Have you been checked lately? There's no way. They're chicken nuggets. Oh, Diesel, I don't believe you. Well,
They're
you're
not real chicken nuggets.
It
It's
doesn't
emulsified
matter. It
ground up
doesn't
chicken
matter. They're
nuggets.
delicious. It doesn't matter if they're real. That's not the point. Wesley on the stream says, I think you get tired of any food.
He gained 24 pounds in 30 days. 24 pounds eating nothing but
Wow.
McDonald's for 30 days.
Wesley says he would go salmon, by the way. He would go salmon with his food that he would have to eat every single day. That would be good for you. Fish
I do
is
like
good.
salmon, but I couldn't eat it every day.
Oh, so you say salmon.
I don't know that I would want to make that my choice.
No. I'm saying you say salmon.
I do say salmon.
I say salmon.
we got
to fight about that.
Yeah, we need to put it on the fight.
Put it on the list. So this guy who the New York Post did an article on with eating pizza every single day for 6 straight years. He says, people laugh at me all the time. People call me crazy. But I'm impressed that I have kept up with this for all these years. So the question that I ask Diesel and the audience, Tolos, this man in particular, who did this pizza challenge for 6 years every day, do you consider that, number one, disgusting, or number 2, impressive? I say impressive.
He eats pizza every meal for 6 years, and he's a hero. I drink bourbon every day for 6 weeks,
Nobody
and
calls
I'm an
you a hero.
alcoholic. Like, what? Come on, man. Come on,
It's
man.
a cruel world, isn't
The
it?
dude is an addict and nothing.
It's a cruel world.
But hey, he's figured out a way to make a living off of it. So what are we doing here? Okay, we're talking sports radio. He's probably making more money eating pizza.
Texter says McDonald's is absolutely disgusting. So there's your agreed.
I don't eat McDonald's. I don't eat Taco Bell. I just don't. I don't.
Texter goes on to say you're a madman if you like McDonald's, Jacob. Dang, Jacob.
Yeah,
That's
Jacob.
a little rough. That's a little rough, Jacob. Trey from Kentucky says, give me steak every day. I do like, what do doctors say? Again, I don't go to the doctor enough. Why do they say red meat too much is bad for you?
Bad for your heart.
Just too much of it?
Yeah, it's bad for your heart. I mean, I'm no doctor here. I just know that it's bad for your heart. It makes your cholesterol go up, makes you gain weight.
Really?
It's not good for your heart.
So, like, if you ate steak and eggs, which is like protein, perfect, it would eventually, if you ate too much of it, it'd be bad.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
Hey, Cole, variety is the spice of life. Okay, and I feel like in some way this guy has missed out on 6 years of variety in his food.
Oh, my gosh. Google
know?
says, Diesel, eating red meat regularly, which I do eat a lot of red meat.
Mhm.
It says it can increase your risk of diabetes, cardiovascular disease, certain cancers, and elevated mortality. What the heck? Certain cancers from eating red meat?
Yeah, but see, then you counteract that, Cole, by drinking red wine because red wine is good for your heart. So if red meat's bad for your heart, red wine's good for your heart, cancels each other out. Which means you can have a glass of wine and a steak every meal, and you'll be just fine.
I counteract it with like the red velvet cheesecake. Does that count?
No, it doesn't.
But it's red. You said it was if it's red. I can counteract it.
Yeah, so are Shaq's toes, but that doesn't mean anything. Okay,
That is pitiful.
that doesn't mean
That is
anything.
pitiful. Texter ask, are we sure the guy didn't just have to eat a slice every day? Other texter says, to be fair, Taco Bell isn't real food. Yes, it's real food. What do you mean it's not
It's
real
like
food?
grade C beef.
And it's still real. What do you mean by real food? Like fake food versus real food? It's not. How can it be fake? I don't understand that. You said the chicken nuggets at McDonald's aren't real. They're real. I mean, it's real food.
It was chicken at one time. There's a lot of stuff in it that's not chicken. That's our point, Cole. Hey, when we come back, we're going to get you caught up on everything that's gone on in the sports world over the last 24 hours, your daily wires, and your very next clue, and your chance to win a $25 Ingles gift card. We're live here from Ingles Markets inside the Corner Cafe at 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Highway in Spartanburg. We'll give you your second clue, your chance to win a $25 gift card. If you think you know the answer, stop on by, and you could win. That's coming up next here on The Fan Upstate.
Remember live read.
Do we need to? Jay, do we need to?
Blueberry biscuits for $5.
At 844.
Hey, I'll fix this right here.
This is Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
Hey, Cole, can you do that sound effect again?
Do you not know that I voiced that?
That was you? That was you? Oh, my God. So convincing. So convincing. You telling me that chicken's not real?
No, the chicken's not real. What chicken?
Broadcasting live here inside the Corner Cafe, Ingalls Markets, 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Highway in Spartanburg. Here's your second clue in your chance to win a $1,000. No, that's not right. A $25 gift card. A $25 gift card to Ingalls Markets. Okay, I'm going to give you the first clue again, and then I'm going to give you the second clue, and maybe if you didn't quite have it before, this will help you out, okay? Clue number 1, multicolored varieties with multiple meanings.
Okay.
Clue number 2, one of the varieties of this item has an everyday drink in the name. One of the varieties of this item has an everyday drink in the name. If you think you know the answer to what this product is that's available inside of every single Ingalls Market, you come down here, you tell us the answer, you put your name in the hat, you could win a $25 gift card. Cole, getting you caught up with what happened in the last 24 hours, your daily buzz.
I'll tell you what,
you do it. There it is. The daily wires for today. Clemson improves to 36-10 last night with a win 14-12 over the Charlotte 49ers. We spent some time earlier in the show talking about it. Cole, Clemson's bullpen gave up a lot of runs late in that game. Without pulling the box score back up, I know they gave up one 4-run inning late in the game. I think it was in the 5th or the 6th inning. And Clemson had to put up 4 in the top of the 9th to come back and win this thing. South Carolina improved to 33-15 on Tuesday with a 15-3 win at Winthrop. Run ruled them. Yeah, see, this is what we're talking about. When you're playing a team like Charlotte, that was a sub-500 baseball team, you should not be beating them by 2 with a 4-run 9th inning. South Carolina is beating the tar out of Winthrop and teams like that.
Don't say
Clemson is barely getting past Charlotte.
Homer.
Boston defeated Cleveland in Game 1 last night, 120-95 to take a 1-0 lead in that series. Blowout city in that one.
Blowout City. Mavs Thunder, by the way, Diesel, I failed to put the score there. Thunder, Blowout City, 117-95 over the Mavs.
Yeah, these scores feel wrong to me, man. It just shows that nobody's playing any defense. To me, it feels like a basketball game.
Incorrect.
Should be, because nobody's playing any D.
That's not true.
Oh, these are the best shooters in the world,
true.
Whatever.
Completely incorrect, but it's okay. Hey, we'll save that topic for later.
Okay.
We'll play that.
Atlanta beat Boston last night 4-2 to improve to 21-12 on the season. I was watching that game, Cole, last night. Man, what a crazy finish to that game. I think it was the top of the 7th. Ozuna hit a single through the gap, scored the go-ahead run to take 3-2, and then it was a wild thing that happened. It ultimately wouldn't have mattered, but Atlanta hit it into what should have been an inning-ending double play. However, Boston's first baseman threw it to the wrong player. He threw it to the shortstop who was crashing in from short. He should have been throwing it to the second baseman who was covering the bag. That didn't happen. The throw didn't make it to first base to get the second out, which allowed Atlanta's 4th run of that game to plate, which, again, ultimately didn't matter because Boston didn't score anymore after that.
Sure.
But,
but you're telling me the Braves can win a game?
They can win the game, even when there was a little bungled play there down at the very end that could have cost Atlanta the game. Matt Olson fielded a hard ground ball over there to first, and he pitched it to the pitcher, which should be a simple exchange, right? They practice this every single day, but it didn't work out, and it almost cost them.
The best player, the most consistent player for the Braves, Ozuna, did it again, and this is what it sounded like.
2-0 pitch.
Ozuna grounds it up the middle. Ozzie is around third. Atlanta is back in front in the bottom of the eighth. The Big Bear delivers with a big RBI base hit.
Barcelo's been so good up in the zone, they thought they could get away with one. Very nice job by Ozzie, who runs the base as well.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, Big Bear. I heard he's got a chest like a rug.
Yeah, that's what it
also
sounds
heard
like.
He's iron tough.
It's what it should sound like every night. Not every night. I know they're not going to win them all, but man, it felt good to finally win a game last night.
Yeah. I mean, there was still some players for the Atlanta Braves that did not get on the board in the hit column. I don't believe Matt Olson got a hit in that game. So I don't think not Ozzie Albies, but I don't think Acuna got a hit in that game either. So, I mean, the bats are still cold, but they're finding ways to win games. And again, that's what matters, especially late in the season. If these players have confidence that they can win games even when they're not playing their best, when they know that they can manufacture wins, that matters. That matters. The New York Rangers scored in double overtime to take a 2-0 series lead against the Hurricanes. The Hurricanes were peppering.
Yep.
The Rangers goalie with shots. I mean, I think the shot differential was something like 20.
It was huge.
Or so.
It was huge.
And they were not getting the shots to go into the net. And they gave up that late goal there in the second overtime.
I didn't like
and
that.
The Rangers take a 2-0 lead.
I didn't like that call that they called on Carolina that gave New York the power.
A lot
play.
of penalties in the third period overtime.
Man. I thought it was cheap. And then Carolina, to play devil's advocate, like you still have to do your job. Carolina, right before that, had a power play. And for goodness sake, they couldn't even get close.
They only got 2 shots in that power play.
What are you doing? How you have to take advantage of a double overtime power play and they get it and score.
When you've got one fewer defender on the ice and they had the puck in the Rangers' territory for majority of that penalty,
sure.
And they only mustered 2 shots on goal.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pitiful. I mean, hey, the Rangers are a really good hockey team.
Yeah, but
2-0 hockey team.
That's tough.
That's tough. I mean, you're sending the series back to Raleigh. Maybe home ice advantage there, and Raleigh gets the Hurricanes back into the series. But man, it is not looking good. And late night game. Oh, the weird thing about that game, Cole, if you were watching this would have driven you nuts.
Yeah.
With about a minute to go in, I think it was in overtime, they switched the broadcast to pregame of Stars Avalanche.
Yeah, I saw it.
There was 30 seconds to go in the game, and they switched the broadcast. Somebody over at ESPN fell asleep at the wheel, man. I don't know what was going on.
What else I don't like? Why do we have to have 12-minute breaks between overtimes? Is that necessary?
Well, yeah, they got to rest a little bit.
They got to rest.
One thing I do like about hockey, Cole, and I remember thinking this last night, when they say 20 minutes for a rest between periods, they mean 20 minutes. It is 20 minutes, and the game is back on. This ain't NFL. This ain't college football where a 20-minute halftime really means a 32-minute halftime. When they say 20, they mean 20, and the game is back on. I do love the overtime rules in playoff hockey, though. First overtime is a normal period. Yeah. Second overtime is sudden death, and I think then they go to penalty shots after that. But I do like the way they do things. It ramps up the importance of every single overtime period. And then finally, the last game of the night, Cole, Stars and Avalanche. The Avalanche won the game 4-3 in overtime. You got to love, man, when you get to playoff hockey, these teams, more of these games going into overtime. And it just shows you, two really good teams matched up. You get free hockey. I'll take that any day of the week.
Yeah, it means there's defense played, right?
That's true. That's true. Hey, coming up in the very next segment, little programming note for you. We have got a guest on from the brand new, currently, as of right now, at least through late evening on Saturday, known as Spartanburg Baseball Club.
Yep.
And we're going to try to get the answers out of Tyson Jeffers, GM of the Spartanburg Baseball Club, coming up next.
We will talk to Tyson Jeffers in the very next segment. We will let you know where to be Saturday night, as the name reveal will be taking place in downtown Spartanburg. Stay tuned, but also make plans to be there Saturday night with us. Diesel and I will be on location. We will not be on air for the entire 2-hour period, so we'll have some time to chat with you. We'd love to see you there. That's this Saturday. Tyson Jeffers up next. for weeks now that this Saturday night will be a fun night for you and your family to be a part of. This Saturday night, downtown Spartanburg, Daniel Morgan Avenue, we will have the announcement with General Manager Tyson Jeffers, who's joining us right now. The Spartanburg baseball team will be announcing the team name, the team mascot, if you will. And we bring on Tyson Jeffers, the general manager of the Spartanburg Baseball Club, right now on Wire to Wire. Tyson, earlier in the show, I said the best plot twist ever would be if you guys came out Saturday night. Because right now you're the Spartanburg Baseball Club. Is that right?
Yeah, Spartanburg Professional Baseball Club.
Okay, the best plot twist would be for you guys to amp it up, drum roll, music, and announce that's the name, Spartanburg Baseball Club.
Here's the logo. You've seen it.
Washington Commanders did it, right?
Yeah.
They were the Washington football team. Can we get that to happen? Is it too late? Can we change it back?
Might have to return a bunch of merchandise, but we could make
so
it happen.
We have eliminated the Spartanburg Baseball Club.
We will not remain the same.
Okay.
And I've said it, but we will not become the Phillies. I don't think the Rangers would allow us to be the Spartanburg Phillies again.
Correct.
So those are the two that I will cross off. I won't give any hints on anything.
Tyson, you're new in this role. Do you find it fascinating, the rich tradition that Spartanburg has with baseball?
I love it. I think it's amazing. I think it's pretty unique. So the people from Spartanburg that haven't been and checked the history across the country, it's very unique to have the iterations of professional baseball that Spartanburg has had from the early 1900s, 1800s. So it's really fascinating to see. It's also fascinating to see the different pockets of time that they were here and to understand the history of why they left, why they came back, and all those things. There's some great historians on baseball that have written books on Spartanburg baseball, and everyone should go pick it up because it's good.
We are joined now by Tyson Jeffers, GM of the, as of right now, known as the Spartanburg Baseball Club. Tyson, we've had a lot of people asking us over the past couple of days, what will the competitive relationship be between the Spartanburg Baseball Club and the Greenville Drive? Our listeners really want these two teams to face off against each other. They really want this rivalry to blossom.
Yeah, I think we would love for the rivalry to blossom and for there to be some healthy rivalry included in that, because I think it's a really good story if we do have the opportunity to be in the same league. Right now, us getting Kinston's affiliation, we're a low A affiliate of the Rangers. They are the high A affiliate of the Red Sox. So we would be in different leagues. But if there's opportunity for the shift to happen and us to play them on a regular basis, I think there's a way that we can make sure that both communities are, one, having a good time with it, and it's competitive between the lines, but we're being constructive.
But you realize if you do that, you as the GM, you have to take a side. And what I mean is Diesel, he lives in Greenville. I grew up in Spartanburg. Spartanburg and Greenville, it's already a rivalry. Spartanburg is, they do things differently than Greenville does. There's a lot of new people that have moved into Greenville. So at that point, you'd have to say, look, I don't know where you live. I don't know where you moved to, but you'd have to say, can't do it, Greenville.
You got to draw a line somewhere,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we'll if that's the case, we'll draw the line. We might even at that point would be drawing a line with Asheville too. So there's kind of a three-way rivalry that we'd probably create.
It's true.
Tyson, talk to us about some of the challenges of getting a low A ball club off the ground. We Cole and I have talked a lot about on the station how we would love to see an NHL team come to the upstate. And the way the NHL brings new teams into the league is they get to kind of pick players off of other rosters, and they really get to hit the ground running. Is that the case in low A baseball? Tell us about what it's like to essentially start a program from scratch.
Yeah, fortunately for me and probably for everyone that comes and sees the baseball players, the Rangers handle all of that. So all the talent comes from them. You don't want me picking because it would be a bunch of not great baseball players probably. But our focus is mainly on creating the experience and the culture that surrounds the facility that we have, the team and the name and all of those pieces that create the experience for people to come and enjoy baseball in Spartanburg. So we're very focused on starting all of those things up and making sure that when you walk through those gates, you have a smile on your face. When you leave the gates, you have a smile on your face. And that goes from every touch point you're going to have in the ballpark to food and beverage, which is a huge thing now, to the music and all the other things that happen during a baseball game.
So I have to ask, you as the GM, Spartanburg, they're very supportive. They will get behind a team like this, in my opinion, and they will support you. They'll also want to get to know you. But as a GM, are you going to be a GM that's friendly, welcoming, buying things for people, or are you going to be running in restaurants that when you see a sign you don't like David Tepper did, you're going to piss off the entire fan base? Where do you stand? What kind of GM are you going to be, Tyson Jeffers?
Time will tell. No, I'm just kidding. I think I've said it from the day that I got here that Spartanburg has welcomed me with a warm hug, and I welcome them back with a warm hug and make sure that if anyone has any problems, I hope that they have the ability to come to me and that I can fix those problems so that they keep coming back and seeing us play baseball.
Tyson Jeffers, GM of the Spartanburg Baseball Club, joining us here on Wire to Wire. Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate. The event is happening on Saturday from 5 to 9. Cole and I are going to be there from 6 to 8, maybe a little bit before, maybe a little bit after that. We have people texting in. Trey wants to know, are you going to have merch for sale on Saturday, and at what point in the evening are you going to start releasing that stuff? Because you can't sell it at 5 o'clock. Yeah, you can't sell it at 5 o'clock. Otherwise, you've blown the whole thing.
We could blindly pre-sale shirts.
Or you just sell ones with big old question marks on them. Yeah.
So 5 p.m., there'll be bands taking the stage and playing and entertaining for a couple hours. At 7 p.m., we'll start the programming to make the announcement. Right around 7:20, just imagine the walls of a big white tent dropping down and merchandise being available. So think about 7:20. We'll call it out multiple times leading up to it. If people want to start getting in line and being the first to grab hats and shirts and jerseys and all of those types of things.
Your favorite thing about Spartanburg thus far? Restaurant thing. I know there's not a ton of things to do like Greenville. All the Greenville people say, well, you don't have anything to do in Spartanburg. What's your favorite thing been?
I think it's the small town community feel. Like I said, the people are very energetic and ingrained and excited, and that shows. And I think that shows in the growth that's happening in Spartanburg. And hopefully our team and the facility we're creating can be the conduit to help that explode. And maybe we'll be on Greenville's level here pretty soon.
Tyson, can you tell me, is the team going to be the Spartanburg Blanks?
Yes.
It will be the Spartanburg somethings.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I thought you were guessing the blanks is the name. And so I was joking.
No. So I'm trying to get a nugget out of you here, okay?
There's Spartanburg, there's Hub City, there's Sparkle City.
Yeah.
There's probably other nicknames that I haven't heard yet. So.
Right.
There's a lot of great nicknames.
So can we rule out Hub City? Can we rule out Sparkle City? Is it going to be the Spartanburg somethings?
I'm not going to give any hints on that.
Nothing. Okay. Is the mascot pluralized or is it singular? I mean, there are a couple of colleges out there, like the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's not a plural.
Sure.
Tigers. Is it plural or is it singular?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I do know. I'm just not going to tell you.
I told Diesel already. There's no point in trying.
You guys are going to be there on Saturday.
Yeah, I know. But I've got an itch. I got to know.
You're going to be the first to be able to judge the name.
Okay.
Good or bad.
Okay.
My hope is that.
Is it going to be bad?
I hope everyone has an emotional reaction. I think that's the best thing. The worst thing that can happen is everyone looks at it and shrugs their shoulders and they're like,
That's a great point, though.
So whether it's good or bad, a reaction is a positive thing for us because we can have that conversation.
I told Cole on our show yesterday, the Greenville team, I'm not crazy about their mascot. I don't think it's all that cool. I think they could have done a lot better.
I may get in trouble for saying this, Tyson, but I'm going to say it and ask for forgiveness. Just don't name a mascot that's going to be woke, and we're going to have to change it in 5 years because everybody's offended, and 10 years from now, you're going to have to do what North Greenville's done 4 times. And this, needless to say, I believe you, the management, I believe that when you do get the reveal, it is going to be exciting because, let's be honest, Spartanburg hasn't had anything like this that they can rally around and pull for in a long time. You said it. It's a small community, small town feel. And this is the first thing that they've had in a long, long time. High school football is huge here. But they have different teams, rivalries. This is going to be the first thing they've had that they can all support.
Yeah, and we want to make sure that we do it at the highest level and highest standard that we possibly can. And when they think of us, they think of truly professional baseball. And It's not, a bush league type feel. It is a true professional feeling experience for everyone.
Tyson, we talked yesterday. We talk about food on this show each and every day. we talked about, you see the crazy things that Major League Baseball stadiums offer food-wise. Yesterday, we looked at a $150 Wagyu beef burger that's for sale at Truist Park in Atlanta. Is there anything special coming that the Spartanburg Baseball Club is going to try to be known for as like a really interesting thing that you got to come, you got to get one of these when you go in?
I think it's super important for teams to focus on their food experience and to have those marketing aspects of like the 150 or whatever. With one person buying it.
There will be a Waffle House is what you're saying in the stadium.
Yeah.
Even if you don't sell them, it's still great marketing because people will know, wow, there's this crazy Coney dog you got to have there.
We are working on the food and beverage programming, and it's going to be pretty special.
Well, Diesel and I will volunteer whenever you start working on it. Taste
we'll
test.
have a media day where you guys can come and test all the food out. Yeah.
Yes, because that is a very important part of selecting food is trial and making sure.
And y'all's opinions is the most important, right?
Yeah, said no, whatever. Well, listen, I don't know. This is the burning question. Everybody's got to know. You live in South Carolina now. Hate to tell you this, but you got to choose garnet and black or orange and purple. South Carolina Clemson. You can't be living in South Carolina and not choose one. So what is your team of choice?
I went to Mississippi State.
Oh, gosh.
I can't really
Starkville.
choose it. I can't choose another SEC team.
That's true. That's true. That's a good point.
I also
So
probably
that
shouldn't
means you're a
choose an
Clemson
ACC.
fan. There you go. We got the answer. We got the answer.
The ag schools, right? They align.
Yes. I just want to know, can Cole and I come and run the bases, please?
Of course, yes.
Can we run the
Every
bases?
Sunday we'll let kids run the bases, and
We're counted in those.
You guys can identify as a child.
We'll eat the if you've got the baseball helmets filled with ice cream, we'll chow down on one of those, run the bases, and try not to vomit.
Yeah, that's a great challenge.
I'm super excited. I think that the city of Spartanburg will be stoked. Where are we on? I know right now it's dirt. I drive by a lot living in Spartanburg. Like the timeline that you guys have, is this like weather permitting, or is this going to be done? It doesn't matter what the weather is. When can we expect to see structure?
Yeah, the structure, when you guys are there on Saturday, you'll see the full structure of the lower level taking shape. They've actually poured the concrete over the clubhouses, over the weight room, all of those types of things. So they're starting to create some interior spaces. They still need to form out where the stair step of where the seats will get screwed in, but that's probably next phase. And then later in May, they're going to start building up and start building the club and the suite level. So it's coming together.
What about the dining? Have we talked about? I think you and I talked about this. Floor Field, before it came to Greenville, there weren't as many options around in terms of the West End. Will that be something similar that Spartanburg does?
Yeah, I think the overall vision for the space that the ballpark is being developed on, and we are phase one of a multi-phase project. So if you think of Floral Field and you think of kind of what other ballparks and facilities are doing, they're creating a community, a hub, really where everyone's going. So the experience isn't, hey, this ballpark's on an island, I'm just going to the game and I'm going home. It's I'm going early, I'm getting drinks, I'm getting food, I'm maybe shopping, depending on what the retail is around it. But we want it to be a full experience that people are coming, and they're coming downtown Spartanburg early, spending some money, coming to us, enjoying a game, going back out after, and having a good time and making it a full night out.
Did you hear what he said, Cole? He said it's a hub. I think we just got a nugget. I think we got some. Look at you. You're just completely deadpan. It blows me away.
Luckily, I'm very monotone, so no one knows. I have no inflection.
You'd be a great poker player.
Trey does want to know, can you reveal the colors, or is that secret as well?
That's secret as well.
God, we get nothing out of you.
Absolutely.
I'm not even going to tell you so that you guys could coordinate colors.
Are you wearing red because that's the team color?
Maybe.
Maybe not.
I like
Maybe
it.
not.
Hey, let me ask you this. When it comes to like minor league teams going to certain cities, Spartanburg, I don't want to say like they're in a place where they need to be revitalized, but Spartanburg downtown's not the same as downtown Greenville. Spartanburg downtown's come a long way from what it was 10 years ago. Does the MLB look at cities like Spartanburg and think, if we placed our team in our stadium here, not only would it help the team and fans come to the games at the stadium, but would also help the downtown flourish and continue to grow and expand?
Yeah, 100% that factors into it. And because when you think of minor league baseball, it is so community focused, right? It's about the accessibility for the community to come and have a place to gather. And that's really important. And if that can be the conduit to see a community go from one tier to the next, I think that's a win-win for everybody. So that's really the goal. And if we can be the place that's bringing in 5,000 people to downtown Spartanburg every single game, that's going to stimulate a lot of growth around it and make it a new hub of Hub City, right? Or put the hub back in Hub City.
So
put the sparkle.
He's giving
Sparkle
man!
City.
Now he's doing the misdirection thing.
He is.
Okay,
He's
now he's just messing. He looks me in the eyes and he goes this way, that way.
Yeah.
You talked about it earlier with the Rangers and the affiliation that you have with them. They help you build the roster. What other assistance have you gotten from the Rangers? How involved are the Rangers? Past just picking the roster.
They're very involved in the construction, right? So since their players will be utilizing the facility, we're working directly with them and MLB and minor league baseball to make sure that we're delivering the top tier facilities in the country. They're super excited to have this ballpark because they have the ability to customize the space that they'll be using. So it's going to be pretty special.
What about if we've been thinking about this the wrong way? We've been thinking Sparkle City, Hub, all this stuff. It's a Texas team. Everything's bigger in Texas. Western. I'm a Cowboys fan, maybe Tyson.
Are you a Cowboys fan?
Die hard.
Dak Prescott, what's your
Oh, here we go. All right, time to get a break.
The word apologist comes to mind when it comes to Cole Bryson and his feelings on Dak Prescott.
That is true.
He's the same way with LeBron. He's just that guy.
Oh my gosh, you hear Melissa? I'm getting tormented.
Talking trash. You're catching it from all sides over here.
We'd have to spend the next hour answering that question.
I can come back on.
Please do.
We'll talk about the best football player to ever come out of Mississippi State.
Real quick, your team's professional-wise, besides the new Spartanburg Cowboys.
And the Rangers, because you have to say the Rangers.
I have to say the Rangers.
Yeah.
I grew up a Braves fan.
Good.
I am a fan of the team that I'm working for, so I cheered for the Yankees when I worked for the Yankees affiliate. When I was in Minnesota, I cheered for the Twins, but I am a Rangers fan.
Did a little part of you die every time you had to do that? Every time you had to change your affiliation?
A little bit, yeah.
Pro football team?
Cowboys. Well, it's because of Dak.
Gosh.
Oh, Mississippi State. I didn't even think.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that. Gosh, I feel like an idiot. But listen, we're excited. We'll see you Saturday. We appreciate you being here, and we look forward to having you on, not just today, but in the future.
Yeah,
if you don't mind. If you're not too busy, Dave.
I'll jump on with you guys after. And again, you guys can talk crap right to my face if you don't like it. I'm giving you that freedom right now.
That's fantastic.
We love it. That is Tyson Jeffers, GM of the Spartanburg Baseball Club. The event is happening on Saturday. You guys definitely want to be down there. It is happening at Morgan Square, West Main Street in Spartanburg. The entire event is from 5 until 9. Cole and I are going to be there 6 until 8. A bunch of Odyssey radio stations are going to be there as well. And the name reveal happens at what time? You said 7:20?
Programming starts at 7.
7?
So be there before 7.
Be there before 7 if you want to be on site to know and get your first crack at buying that brand new Spartanburg Baseball Club merchandise. Cannot wait. This is going to be an absolutely fantastic event. Thank you, Tyson, for joining us today. We're excited to see this. We're excited to see you again on Saturday. When we come back, Cole, it is time for you and I to put up our dukes, and we add one more to the crew. Again, Melissa will join us on the other side, and it's time for the 5 o'clock fight here on the Fan Upstate. This is Wire to Wire. He is Cole Bryson. My name is Diesel. A little extra note there for you on our conversation with Tyson Jeffers, GM of the Spartanburg Baseball Club. He let us know that the event on Saturday will be cashless. So you cannot bring cash to the event and spend it the way you normally would. Make sure that you are bringing some form of electronic payment, and they'll take care of you.
A place where I can fit in.
That's right.
Cashless.
That's right.
There you go.
There'll be no conspiracy theories allowed.
Yes, I feel right at home.
Joined right here live on the show right now with Melissa Level, Marketing Director for Ingles Markets. Melissa, we're putting you on camera.
Oh my gosh!
This time around. We're not quite there yet. Now, give me a second. Now you're on camera.
Hi, everybody.
Melissa, is this the first time you've been on the stream, video wise? I know you
not
come
on your show, yes, but I do sideline reporting for the NFL, but that's okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Just say it, dude.
Back in your old life when you're a big deal. Melissa Level, Marketing Director here
I
at
love
Ingles.
being able to be on camera. I can see you guys look okay.
Yeah, well, we try to stay as far away from the camera as we possibly can. Melissa, though, it is time to get down to brass
Why do you
tacks.
make Cole so little and you get the bigger part of the screen?
What do you mean? Get him, Melissa. You have the same amount of space. Now you're putting the straw man. You're making me nervous here. Okay?
Gaslight you.
It is time here for Cole and I to fight it out. 3 topics. We do it every single day at 5 o'clock. It is called the 5 o'clock fight. We take different sides. We argue our hearts out. Melissa, today you decide who wins each round of the fight. Let's get into it.
And nobody's leaving unscathed. 3 topics, 1 winner. It's the 5 o'clock fight on WIRE2WIRE with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
Yeah, the rules are simple here. Cole and I must disagree on every single one of these topics. You, the listener, and now today, you, Melissa Level of Ingles, decides who wins each round. So let's not dilly-dally. Let's get right into it with round 1.
No.
This is a business, Melissa, who has taken it on the chin over the past couple of years. It was already happening before COVID, but that sort of accelerated things. Cole, will movie theaters ever make a comeback?
This is a deep one. I know the majority of people will lean no on this one, but I will tell you that there's going to be someone, Melissa Diesel, smart enough and brilliant enough with a marketing background that has enough attraction around the movie theater or in the movie theater in the same building, however you want to make it, however you want to put it or shift it around. There is going to be someone that has enough of a marketing genius mindset to bring movie theaters back, and we will see. They may not be as traditional as we used to see, but we will see movie theaters make a comeback. I'm telling you it's going to happen.
No way, Cole. There's people who are trying this. They've tried this. Not to say they've tried everything and the best possible things, but they've tried the dine-in movie theaters. They've tried the enhanced experience movie theaters. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, Cole. Like, we as a society...
Bring back the drive-in.
I would love to bring back the drive-in. But
I think about it's all going to make because people don't want to get in there.
Right. We have learned as a society that we can have everything at our fingertips right there in the comfort of our own homes. Like, if there's a movie you want to watch that's not on the 10 streaming platforms you already pay for, guess what? Free trial. You can watch it tonight, cancel it tomorrow. You can get your popcorn and stuff shipped to your house.
Or buy it at Ingles.
That's very true. Let's be real. Movie theaters can get people back by lowering their prices, but I'm not sure they can lower their prices. I hate spending $12, $15 for a movie, and until they figure that part out, they figure out a way to give us a premium experience and make it affordable, I don't think movie theaters are coming back.
Okay, the worst thing that happened, COVID was bad to begin with, but it was starting to happen before. Prices were going up.
Yeah.
The quality of movies were a lot of repeats. There were a lot of things that, a lot of controversy about movies and who could be in the movies and who won the movies, and then you had the movie theater shootings, right?
Yeah,
okay,
true.
All these things that come piled up, and then of course you brought in the age of being able to have it at home, and then people got used to that during COVID too, and that was one of the advantages of being at home, is you learned all the things you could do that you never tried. wanted to go to the movies. I do think
You can watch your movie naked if that's what you want to do.
I do think that there are going to be gathering experiences with movies. I don't think it's going to be in a movie theater.
Sure.
I think the drive-in or maybe an outdoor park movies, like
Yeah.
movies in the square, that kind of thing. But
Is that going to save the movie theater
No.
industry, though? Have you noticed
No.
what they're doing right now? They're bringing back a lot of old
Yeah.
movies and
And
putting
they're
them back in
remaking,
theaters
and they're-
and hoping that old movies, for example, I'm a sucker for this. I'm going to go spend almost 15 hours of my life next weekend back in a theater watching the Lord of the Rings movies again because I can never see them again on a screen that big. That's getting me to come back
No,
into
I
the
love
movie
that.
theater.
And I would
But-
do that.
Yeah, but I otherwise don't go to movies because you know why? All these are going to be on HBO or
Right.
Cinemax or wherever
Right.
in like a week. So why should I spend $15?
And you can buy them,
Right.
or get your. I mean, you can also do automatically now since COVID. You've been able to go in and purchase things, and you can eat what you want. And you
Yeah.
can have a group of people. But I think I don't think it's going to save the movie theater industry. I think that's gone. But I do think there's going to be movie gathering experiences, movies on the square, the drive-ins, those kind of things. They were the only thing available during COVID, and people kind of reimagined those and found those out. And said, oh, this is fun! You pile a whole kids in the car and everything, and put your lawn chairs out, watch a movie, or it's a big outdoor park, beautiful outdoor park. They have a big movie screen after dark. So I think there will be gathering. There's usually older movies. There's not going to be so the movie theater industry. I think I agree with you is dead.
Final determination. I win round one. Thank you, Melissa.
You're welcome.
Let's make it 2 for 2. Let's go here with fight number 2. What is superior? We talk about food every single day, every single hour on this show. What is superior, Cole? The corn dog or the hot dog?
Listen, this needs to be taken off of the 5 o'clock fight because this is not a fight. This is not a debate. This is not up for discussion. I don't even know why we're talking about it, Melissa Diesel. There is no fight. There is no conversation when you talk about a hot dog versus a corn dog. Everyone knows that a corn dog is far superior.
Oh my God!
You just lost this round and you didn't even realize it.
Are you a corn dog hater?
That's a stick thing, and you get it caught in your teeth, and you have to keep dipping it in the ketchup and the mustard. You can't put relish on it. You can't put onions on it because they fall off. The hot dog holds everything together.
Yeah.
Okay, you can put chili. Can you ever try putting chili on a corn dog? Boy, your outfit is over.
Look,
okay,
you can enhance anything by breading it and putting it in a deep fryer, but that's as far as it goes. A hot dog is way more versatile.
No way.
You can put chili on it. You can dress it up however you want.
Coleslaw.
Bratwurst. Nobody makes corn brats. That's not even a thing. It should be a thing. I would eat
You don't like that
It's
coleslaw.
my thing, but the hot dog is way better than the corn dog.
But see, the thing is with the corn dogs, how do you put anything on it?
Ketchup and mustard. You dip it in, and then when you dip it in, you use the corn dog as the mixer, and you mix
What
the
are you at
ketchup and
elementary
mustard.
school lunchtime? Come on, mix
You
it
mix
together.
the ketchup and the mustard together.
You are a Clemson homer. You make orange sauce. Wow.
Okay, you went. You said
No.
Real quick, texters, Tolos, what do you think? 71307 is the way you can text the show. Start your text with the word fan.
They get one vote
Weigh in
each,
on the
but Melissa gets
conversation.
1,000 votes, so it's already over.
Also on the stream, we're live Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Get your thoughts in
Full
there
on
as
hot
well.
dog, all the beans, all the chili beans, the coleslaw,
Yeah.
the hello, the big bun. It's just like, and the bun is like the worst.
Stop it. You're making me hungry.
Yeah, old-fashioned white bread bun, yeah. Good.
All right, Cole, I have beat up on you pretty hard through 2 rounds. Let's see if I can make it a clean sweep. Let's go for round number 3. This might be the toughest fight of the day, Cole. Which sport has tougher athletes, hockey or rugby?
So I had to do a little research on this. And I was torn, but I did research it. And because I researched it, I am here to tell you that rugby players are far more tough of an athlete. They don't wear pads. Hockey players have helmets and pads and all this extra stuff to keep them safe.
Yeah,
Rugby players,
they do die though on the ice.
rugby players, listen, that is a gruesome, tough man sport playing rugby. There's no tougher athlete than a rugby player, and I'm not going to move off of that now.
I get it. I get what you're saying, the no pads thing. But in hockey, they get going way faster. because they're on skates.
You got to do it on
They can
skates.
move way fast. And
who can skate?
You know what's blown me away is how many years, how many decades have we seen hockey players with their grills all busted up? Yet they still don't wear anything over their faces anyway. They wear that one little piece of plastic over their eyes so they don't get ice shavings in their eyes. But outside of that, those guys got nothing covering their grill. I mean, these guys are getting going at high speeds, slamming you into a wall. I understand that rugby players are tough. But it's just like playing backyard peewee football, right?
No, it's not.
It's really not any tougher than that.
Okay,
No, hockey players are slamming at each other.
Thank you.
The reason I'm gonna
Finally,
go
Melissa, it's about time.
Yeah, you didn't pay me enough if I said that. But I'm going to tell you though, you're outdoors, okay, and you have no pads, and they're playing these shorts. Okay, their knees are all scratched up and everything, and they play more often than hockey. Okay, it's like hockey's kind of like once a week. What
are you talking about? Hockey teams play like 3 times a week.
Well, 3 times, but rugby players they play a rugby match like every day. Okay, and so I mean they travel all over. I don't know. I think rugby's better because I like being able to see the face of the player.
I will say that the rate of concussions is higher in rugby because they don't have anything on their
Well, that makes them tougher, don't you think? Stupid.
Shouldn't have read that. No, that just means they're gonna. That just means they're gonna be drinking their corn dogs out of a straw later on in life because they can't remember their own names. I love it.
But the hockey player is going to be fine, although of course he can never smile again because he has no teeth.
Now,
they probably have to drink too because they have no teeth.
Now I know that we have some Greenville hockey players in our listening audience. We need them calling into the show, texting into the show, and you tell us from a hockey player. I don't know any rugby players, but hockey players. Are you guys going to take that sitting down?
Listen, I love a good fight. Those hockey players, I love a good fight.
Yeah,
they can do it on the ice.
If it got real, they can take their skate off and start dueling.
I love the fact that sometimes when you go after a fight, you can see blood on the ice. I love that. Let's get this messy, right?
Melissa. People die?
No, they just got to put bloody lip. And where else can you go? We've got an actual penalty box. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I could use one of those. Okay. Could I have a penalty box? I have a few people I could put that in.
That's a good idea.
15 minutes.
That's a good idea.
Texter said rugby isn't backyard peewee football. That's one of the toughest sports. This comes from Joey in Fiji. He says rugby, mate, is way better.
And they play a lot of rugby.
Yeah.
Australia, Fiji, yeah.
And Odie, who is a producer on this very station, he's from Ireland. He says he played rugby, but he didn't give us an answer. Odie, you didn't give us an answer. Are rugby players tougher than hockey players?
Are you tougher than a hockey player?
Would Odie call a hockey player a mamby-pamby to his face? I don't think so.
Not on the ice. Maybe off the ice. Okay.
So overall, Melissa, here's what I took from that whole thing: is I win.
No, Cole won the last one.
He won the last one, but 2 out of 3. That wins.
2 out of 3 wins. Okay, that's right. I got you. You did
Melissa,
great.
I have to do something to you, but I hate to tell you, but I'm going to turn you on round 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're going to go buy her a corn dog?
Ingles sells some delicious frozen corn dogs, Melissa.
But I'm not a dipper. Okay? and to be honest with you, it's not a good look when you get that, dip it in and you get the ketchup all over the front of your outfit and everything.
Yeah, if you got to have a bib to eat it, it's not a very good food.
Yeah, and girls are different. They don't want messy stuff all over them, We wear a lot of white in the summertime when you go to baseball games. It's a mess.
There you go.
But I also like to be creative, like at this food thing with foodie kind of thing happening. So you can put everything on a hot dog, right?
So there is no way that you can tell me a corn dog is more messy than a hot dog.
Oh, absolutely, because you have to dip it, and you have to do.
You've got chili, onions, sauerkraut,
but it's all cupped up in a little bun.
Contained.
It's contained.
No. What happens when you bite it? It all just comes tumbling down all over your lap.
It goes in your mouth.
No way. You're trying awfully hard.
Yeah,
You're campaigning hard.
And there's something else too. The bun is still thinner than that massive amount of fried goop around a corn dog.
I just love it. I absolutely
No, listen,
love it.
do you like chicken fingers too and tenders? And do you like the animal ones?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Tyson.
Oh my gosh.
I actually love those. Okay, I'm going to tell you, get on there. I like animal shaped chicken tenders and fish sticks.
Do you ever make the sounds of the animals while you're eting them?
I do.
Yeah.
You know, you got a chicken nugget shaped like a dinosaur. You can't eat it.
Only
You don't say
in private,
"Rawr."
but I do it. I have done it in public before, but that guy was long gone now.
I don't have any. I don't think you should be ashamed of it.
I think they ought to expand the animals, though. You know, you have all these zoo animals. I think you have like deer and turkey and bears. You know, no more giraffes and all that. Have like no dinosaurs. Have like real animals that you know, like kitty cats and dogs and all that. That'd be really cool. Good. Be part of the learning experience. You teach your kids about the animals and feed them at the same time.
Then PETA would be calling.
Can you tell I don't have any of those kids?
You'd get calls from PETA, Melissa, saying, "Why are you making
doggies fish sticks?" But see, I always wondered why fish sticks were shaped like fish.
Yeah.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be a good idea? Fish sticks are like sticks, but you can have fish.
You know what happened, Cole, is Melissa would say, I fought the fight on behalf of the Seminole Nation for decades.
Right. Yeah.
You got nothing on me, Pete. Bring it on.
I tried to turn you, Melissa. I tried my best.
It didn't work.
Yes. I win today.
It's your game today, Diesel.
Thank you so much. It feels good to be told that I'm right as often as
I'll
Melissa
give
tells
you
me.
the amount next time, Cole, beforehand. So you're
Okay, yes. I'll make my bribe better.
So there you go. Your 5 o'clock fight options. Round 1. Will movie theaters ever make a comeback? I said no. Cole said yes. Round 2, corn dogs versus hot dogs. I said hot dogs. Cole said corn dogs. Which sport has tougher athletes? Cole says rugby. I say hockey. Now you weigh in at 71307. Start your text with keyword fan, and this little imager is going to tell you how you could introduce tomorrow's fights. Whatever you got, we will fight about it. Email me, diesel@thefanupstate.com. Put the word fight in the subject line of your email.
Diesel, there is one text that says hot dogs are way messier. I'm not the only one here. There are people citing.
People citing. Person. It's not a people.
Can we read this newest text message on the text line?
No, I don't.
Let's hear it.
Texter just said, are you sure? Are you sure you want to?
I'm not reading. You can read it.
Texter says, Melissa just said, quote, it goes in your mouth. New winner for 5 o'clock fight is Melissa.
You know what? And I got to tell you, the reason I don't want to eat a corn dog is because of the way that looks.
There you go. There you go.
Wait. I should have a bell.
That is Melissa Level, marketing director here at Ingles Markets. Melissa,
I used to be the marketing director.
Melissa, we appreciate your support so much, and Ingles' support here of us, of this station. We thank you so much for being here.
Great job.
We have sport on this show each and every week. Thank you.
What do you think about the new baseball team? You just heard from Tyson Jeffers. You excited?
I am excited. I think it's going to be great. I can't wait to find out what they look like and what the name is going to be and what the colors are going to be.
Is Ingles going to be involved with sponsoring
There's a
that
good possibility. We have some connections to make and things like that.
Yeah.
We've started the ball rolling a little bit with saying we're going to meet and talk. So we'll see. We're big sports sponsors, so we really hope to be part of things.
We do know how much Ingles loves to support local sports. You support it at every level, at the high school level, at the minor league baseball level, at the college level. You guys do a lot to really help out these teams. They need the support, and you guys really step up because you're a part of the community.
Yeah, and we love that. And, my whole history with sports started with baseball, with my granddaddy telling me how to keep score. And then we traveled all over to watch games, and I still have those scorecards. And
do you still remember how to do it, how to keep score in baseball?
I still do keep score.
Really?
I have a book, and I kept all the books from my grandma, and myself. And, it just brings sports, when you look at it from the point of a fan, brings up those wonderful emotions. I can't watch a game
without. Put you on the spot.
What's that?
Base hit.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the third.
Mm-hmm.
Throw him to first.
Mm-hmm.
For the out. Score it on the book.
Well, I can't do it without the card.
Oh,
I have to have the
Melissa.
card. I do have to have the card.
Okay,
That's too much for me.
next time we're here,
I'll bring it. Bring it because I love it. And I still keep it. I keep score at home. I
That's
love
awesome.
doing that. I love the Braves. I'm a Braves fan. I know you're probably a Texas.
No, I'm a Braves fan.
I'm a Braves fan, and I enjoy it. And they're one of they're hard team to score. I used to go to Turner Field when I lived there and keep scoring. And I don't know what it is, but I also am not liking the faster pitch. I think that's having a hard time with doing some of the scoring and keeping up with it because I'm not.
Oh, that's true. I hadn't thought about that.
I'm not mathematically and doing that quick. I have to do that. It takes me time.
Sure.
But also I understand that it's throwing their shoulders out. They're throwing so many pitches and so many quick at one time.
It's 5-3, by the way.
Okay.
Third baseman to first base
Right.
for the out. It's a 5-3.
It's a 5-3.
5-3 out.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
I'll bring one for you next time.
I'd love to do it, and I'll bring you some of those. I have some from back in the 70s. That
I love it.
I went to Fenway, went to Cubbies games with the Cardinals. Of course, the old Atlanta Stadium. All of those things.
that's fantastic.
I loved it. Of course, football is my favorite sport, but baseball is just something that you can't go without it touching your heart.
You need to talk to our friends over at the Greenville Drive. Maybe one of those games that you actually scored at Fenway Park. Maybe that was a big game. Maybe they would want that scorecard.
Well, they're kind of affiliated with another competitor, so I'm not talking to them.
Melissa, thanks so much. We appreciate
Go
it.
Spartanburg!
Yes, and we'll have that Saturday night. We'll be there on location.
That'll be fun.
It will be. Coming up next, we will talk about my day at the Wells Fargo Championship. What I loved about amateurs competing with professional golfers. We'll talk about it next. He's Diesel. She's Melissa. She's the best. I'm Cole Bryson, and this is the Fan Upstate.
Our fan phone. This is Wire to Wire with Diesel and Cole Bryson on the Fan Upstate.
Big thanks again to Melissa, Jay Wilson, everybody making this Eagles visit the best as it always is. Thanks to Corey in promotions for rocking as he always does. Brandon back in the studio. It is the Eagles Market Studio. A lot goes into these live events, and we appreciate everyone for making them so special. I want to tell you about something that I thought was very interesting today. So this morning, I went to the Wells Fargo Championship, Diesel, in Charlotte at Quail Hollow. And it is Wednesday, so today was the practice round / pro-am. What that means is there were professional golfers who were playing the practice for this weekend's tournament, also playing with amateurs, also playing with celebrities.
Now, does this happen at every single PGA event? Is there a low-key pro-am at every event?
A lot of them. I don't know about every. A lot, though. So today was the pro-am. So you had the professionals, you had amateurs, and the teams were big. You also had celebrities. Greg Olson was there. There were a lot of celebrities that came for the event. It's still going on right now, I'm sure. What I thought, several things that jumped off the page to me, Diesel. The number one thing that I took away from the event today was this. You and I, our listeners, are Tolos. That stands for turn it on, leave it on. We've all watched golf. However, when we watch golf, the professionals play against the professionals.
Sure.
When Steph Curry is playing against Russell Westbrook, they all make it look easy. It's like, oh, anybody can shoot from three. When Rory is playing against Bubba Watson, it's like, man, everybody can do this. But what's so amazing is in person, watching these professionals play against amateurs. For example, today, we followed Rory. Every time they go up to the tee box, Rory blasts off and just smacks the ball. Well, you think, okay, that's impressive. And then you see the amateurs and the celebrities who are good golfers, really good golfers.
Yeah, you don't get out there by being a slacker.
They get up, they tee off. Well, guess what? It goes about half the distance of Rory's.
So what you're saying is when all you see are the greats going toe-to-toe,
yes,
you forget just how elite all of these pros are.
100%.
But when you see them hitting against a mortal, right, somebody who's out there driving a normal, like, 260, 275, something like that, and then Rory goes out and blasts for 325, 350, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, you're not human.
It's unbelievable. It's literally mind-boggling. Yeah. So we got there at 6 a.m.
I do like watching, though, Cole, the blooper videos. They're all over YouTube. When you realize that these pros also hit blooper shots, they knock one into the trees every now and again, but then you see them recover, and instead of turning a hole into an 8 or a 9, like I and most normal golfers do when you blast one way off to the right, they can recover and still make par.
Yeah. So we got there at 6 a.m., and we decided to follow Rory the entire time. As the professionals, Diesel, they have on Wednesday the option to play as many holes as they want. They want to play one, they can play one and leave. Play 18, they can play 18 and dip. Rory played 9. So we followed Rory all 9 this morning, the first 9, the front 9, if you will, and it was fantastic. So, number one, I would say seeing them, as you said, play against people who are mortal, it's mind-boggling. Number two, these golfers in the PGA Tour, even on a practice round / pro-am, you can tell when talking to people around you who are serious golf fans, the PGA Tour is definitely trying to do their absolute best at changing their ways to keep up with LIV. It's mind-boggling, Diesel, when you talk to these diehard golf fans about things that the PGA Tour golfers are now allowed to do.
So are they as bitchy about it as college football fans are? Like, are they bemoaning all of these changes the way college football fans do? A lot of them do. Not Rob, because Rob's like anything goes, right? But most college football fans say things like, I don't like the portal. I don't like NIL. I don't like this. I don't like that. So golf fans, are they willing to adapt to some of these changes? You know, baseball fans are the same way. I don't like the pitch clock. I don't like the larger bases. It's not baseball anymore.
Well, I think there's probably a mixed bag. The golf fans that I talked to today, there was a really nice crowd of people there. The golf fans that I talked to today, when talking about the changes that PGA is making, from a small thing to a big thing, like, for example, one change, Diesel. Guess what Live allows you to do? Small thing, wear shorts. PGA didn't. Now they're changing that. Another thing, today, this weekend at Quail Hollow at the Wells Fargo, guess what Live does that PGA is now allowing? Every golfer to play. There is no cut this weekend. That's the first time that's ever happened at the Wells Fargo.
Lame.
There are a lot of things.
Well, they get a participation trophy if you, instead of getting cut, instead of going home, you get a little merit badge that say, I made it past the second round.
Well, I don't know if they're giving away badges or not. Another thing.
Corey says he wants one of those.
Beforehand, the PGA Tour did not allow golfers to have social media personalities. They didn't allow golfers to go on YouTube and go viral and have their own following and profiles. For example, there's one of the best golfers up and coming right now is Akshay Bhatti. I'm sure I said his name wrong, but Akshay Bhatti played in his first Masters this past April. He is one of the biggest golf followings on social media. His YouTube channel, Diesel, is just going completely nuts. He has a fantastic following on all social platforms, and Live, they encourage that. They allow that. Well, guess what? Old stumpy PGA didn't allow it. Now they do.
Hey, if you like Akshay Bhatti, you should see his sister, Shiza Bhatti.
Well, she might be. I haven't seen her.
Now, I'll give Liv credit on this because I consume so much on YouTube. It's ridiculous. And I used to pay for television, then I axed television. Now I pay for YouTube Premium. But no, I watched a fantastic video the other day. Bryson DeChambeau playing with a set of cheap, $75 Walmart clubs. And I want to see great golfers put into uncomfortable positions. Now you're saying, what do you mean? What's the big deal? Well, these guys are playing much, much, much higher quality level clubs. They're shaped differently. The shafts are different. I mean, he was playing with these clubs, and they were whipping like pool noodles out there, right? So, to see a guy go out there and be able to change his swing on the fly and learn to still learn how to smoke a 250-yard drive with a club that's never hit the ball 250 yards and go out there and shoot level par over 9 holes with a set of clubs he's never touched that are far below quality what he's used to playing with. It's absolutely exceptional, and you get to learn these guys' personalities. I mean, think back to the Bryson DeChambeau, Brooks Koepka feud. They didn't really let these guys go on social media and trash talk each other. We talked about this yesterday, how much we want to see personalities emerge out of sports like golf and baseball, sports that traditionally have not allowed a lot of their stars to have personalities on social media. That's what's going to get new players interested in the game. That's what's going to get new kids out there wanting to play golf, is when they get to see these guys chopping it up and having fun with each other, playing weird challenges on YouTube, and also at the same time talking that bleep to each other.
Yeah, and as much as people dislike Live for very legitimate reasons, the bottom line is they have done an incredible job of setting the standard of what this new modern era of golf should look like. The PGA Tour had a lot of catching up to do. The PGA Tour is making strides to do a lot of catching up. Number one, as I said, the most fascinating thing of the whole day was just seeing Rory against humans, right? Number two, the way that the PGA has started, Diesel, to evolve and catch up to Live. And some things you may not disagree with that they're changing. Some, I do think, as you said, with the YouTube and the social media, has legs. Lastly, I'll say this about the Wells Fargo Championship. When you follow a guy, as we did this morning, and you see Diesel, and you and I have talked about this before, but when you see how easy a guy like Rory makes it look, and you hear about the golf fans that are around you, you talk to them, and they're saying this, and they're telling you, they're giving you all these lingos and all this information about how the ball did this, and he hit it right here. When you watch it up close and personal, like I did today, and I'm not a golf guy, but when you watch a golfer as good as Rory, one of the best in the world, number 2 right now, I believe in the in the championship. When you watch him up close and you hear people talk about his game, it gives you, and I will admit, it gives you an appreciation for the game of golf that I did not have. I've seen golf in person plenty of times. I hadn't followed Ricky or Rory or Ricky Fowler, who we did see a little bit of, or Lucas Glover, like I did today, and it makes you think as a sports fan, man, all professional athletes, Diesel, are talented, but this may be like when I walked away from that course thinking today after following Rory, my thoughts were, this may be the hardest sport on planet Earth.
Well, they call it the game of life, right? Like you have to – most people spend an entire lifetime, Cole, to even approach what some of these pros are able to do, as far as like getting under par. Like I would lose my mind. I'd probably quit the game if I ever shot one under par because I'm not even remotely close to that. Once you start playing golf, it's like anything. Like once you start doing it, you start to gain an appreciation for what you're seeing when you watch it on television. 10 years ago, I watched golf on TV, and I see these guys, hit one right down the pipe, 300 yards, and I say, oh, okay, cool. That doesn't seem that hard. Yeah. Until you go out there and you do it, and then you realize, oh, man, that is really hard. And then you start to see the creativity and the ways these guys are able to shape shots and hit shots differently than, my goal is just to go out there and hit it straight every single time. I don't really care how far it goes. I just want to hit it straight. That way I'm not hiking off into the woods and going to Mordor to pick up my golf ball and try to hit my third shot.
There was one hole this morning, Diesel, at Quail Hollow. I think it was 4 or 5, where Rory, it's a practice round. There's a big group, so you kind of have to play a little bit brisk, right? You kind of have to pick up your pace. You can't just wait forever. Hole 4 or 5, we got up to the, I believe it was 4. Anyway, that's irrelevant. Anyways, we got up to the green, and we're seeing Rory come up. Because it's so fast-paced, Diesel, he gets up there, and it's about a 45-foot putt uphill. And because everybody's in a hurry, Rory today just walks up there, and he gets his putt in, 45-foot putt, and guess what? He drains it for an eagle. It was absolutely fantastic. It was absolutely terrific to watch up close and personal. And I think, as I said, people, when they watch it up close and personal, will have more appreciation for the game of golf because it is so challenging.
Cole, right now we have a chance for our Tolos listening to win a $25 Ingles gift card. Consider, Cole, that is potentially dinner tonight for the family. You can come by and win this $25 gift card. I think some people already know the answer. Some people have texted in the answer, but not that many have come by and put their name in the hat. So if you think you know what this product is, I'm going to give you another clue here in just a second. You can come down here to 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Highway in Spartanburg, and you could potentially win a $25 gift card. Okay, so here we go. Clue number 1, multicolored varieties with multiple meanings. And this is available at every single Ingles store. Clue number 2, one of the varieties of this item has an everyday drink in the name. Clue number 3 here, Cole. This item is more popular certain days of the year, but they are nice to receive anytime.
They give it away.
That you think that one gives it away?
Yeah.
If that one doesn't give it away, clue number 4, which you're going to get at the top of the 6 o'clock hour, clue number 4 will definitely give it away. But if you think you know what this product is, come on by. Tell Corey, our promo guy, that you know the answer. And if you get it right, you can put your name in the box and possibly win a $25 Ingles gift card. Cole, when we come back, we're going to stay on this topic of athletes and get into something that Austin Rivers said that about pro football players. He's a basketball guy. He said this about pro football players that I think it's going to spark another big debate, a la who's tougher, hockey players or rugby players. That's coming up on the other side here live from the Corner Cafe inside Ingles Markets at 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Highway in Spartanburg on the Fan Upstate.
Bryson on Wire to Wire. This is the Fan Upstate.
Shout out to Tolo G, who stopped by the store here today at 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Highway in Spartanburg. You've still got about an hour and 15 minutes left if you want to come by and see Cole and myself. We're going to be here. We got your chance to win a $25 Ingles gift card. If you think you know the answer to the trivia question, you can come win a $25 gift card that could pay for your dinner tonight, could buy you some roses for Mother's Day.
Also, a shout out if they're listening now. I know they were grocery shopping earlier, Diesel, but to Eric and Diane.
Diane, yes,
for stopping by. We appreciate them stopping by earlier in the show. And you know what? Time flies when you have fun. It's already 5:45, but as you said, we still have an hour to go.
Yes, we do. We had a great conversation earlier with the GM of the Spartanburg Baseball Club, Tyson Jeffers, who, despite all of our efforts, Cole, would not reveal the name of the club. He is very good at playing that close to the vest. I thought maybe he dropped a hint in there.
Somebody said,
and then he said, well, yeah, but it could be this instead.
Somebody on the stream said, man, he'd be a good friend. He
wouldn't tell anybody anything. Hey, Cole, so we had a fantastic debate earlier about who's tougher, hockey players or rugby players. It's funny that that came up into the conversation because we now have Austin Rivers, NBA player, going after football players. What he's going to tell you in this drop here, in this audio clip, is going to make you laugh, but I think it's also going to spark a really fun conversation. Let's hear it.
Where the best athletes in the world are, that's us. I could take 30 players right now in the NBA and throw them in the NFL. You cannot take 30 NFL players and put them in the NBA.
Whoa. Allow 5 on the court. Let's all relax.
Break every play. All you gotta do is catch the ball and run north or south.
Listen, our sport's better.
There's a reason why hip-hop artists, when they rap, they compare themselves to ballers. They're not talking about footballers. They're talking about basketball players.
That's because they're not tough. And I'm a punter. Me being a punter saying all these things.
There's a reason why all the girls that we get done with them, the NFL players usually end up dating them later.
So he said he could take 30 NBA players that could go play in the NFL, but right now 0 NFL players could play in the NBA. That's big. He said that rappers talk about basketball players, not football players. He said that the women want to date basketball players, and then the football players get sloppy seconds. Ooh. I mean, dude, he is dropping the gauntlet on football. Now, I agree, Cole, that the skill sets are completely different.
Yeah, everybody should agree with that, right?
Different. I mean, there are athletes in the NBA, but here's the big issue, Cole, is these athletes in the NBA would be calling for flags on every single play, again and again and again. They wouldn't know how to play football without calling foul. Oh, referee, that's a foul. Oh, that's a penalty. Give me 15 yards.
I think it's an argument that is 110% pointless to have. And here's why.
But that doesn't mean we're not going to have it.
Oh, absolutely. I agree. But here's why I'll tell you that you can't make the argument for either side. You said it. Just as if you're going to compare baseball. Every single skill set is so different. I don't believe NFL players, the average NFL player, could play NBA basketball. I don't believe the average NBA player could play NFL football. No. And I don't believe, even throwing baseball in there, that any of them could play football, and any of the NBA or football players could play MLB baseball or Major League Baseball.
He just went this way, that way. Look,
it's not happening.
We used to see several. I mean, Deion Sanders did it. Bo Jackson did it, played both sports, football and baseball. So it has been done before. Now, we also talk a lot about – twice. Again, it has been done before, but not very often. We talk about the specialization and the way athletes choose a lane now earlier than they ever did. Used to be, when you were coming up through high school, you played multiple sports in high school. You played football, you played basketball, you played baseball. But now, a lot of young athletes, they are specializing at a younger age. They're playing travel ball in their sports offseason instead of playing a different sport. So they're not getting that cross-training of different skill sets. But, Cole, I do wonder why we have seen 2 guys do it in football and baseball. But why have we never seen, not once, not that I could think of, and if somebody knows that this has happened, please let us know. Why have we never seen a pro football and basketball player? There's no crossover whatsoever. I remember people talking, what about LeBron James, and saying that he was recruited to play basketball.
He was a beast.
Excuse me, recruited to play football at Ohio State. So he may be one of those guys who potentially could have done it.
I think that there's only a few people on this planet Earth that have the necessary God-given skill set to do both, or three, whatever you want to do, whatever crossover you want to use. Like Diesel, as talented as Tom Brady is, let's think about the GOATs. As talented as LeBron is, as talented as, let's say, Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
As talented as those three are, LeBron, Shohei, and Tom Brady. You going to put Tom Brady behind a three-point line for a game winner in Game 7?
Absolutely not. But I sure wouldn't put the winning touchdown pass on any of those guys on.
No, and you wouldn't put Shohei. That's what I'm saying. The skill sets are so hard and unique to master that once you master it, I just don't think you can flip. Again, you said it. Two guys. Yeah, I've done it in the history of sports, like at a high level, right?
Do you know who Cole, the tallest player in the NFL is right now?
The tallest player in the NFL right now, without cheating, I'm going to guess.
Or if you just want to guess how tall he is. That may be harder to pull a name, but it may be easier to guess the height.
I'll go 6'7".
You'd be wrong. You'd be selling Dan Skipper short. Dan Skipper is 6'10".
Ooh,
yeah, we got Dan Skipper, who's 6'10". Now here's the thing: 6'10" is nothing in the NBA.
No,
there's a whole bunch of 6'10" guys in the NBA. The current tallest player in the NBA is Boban. He's 7'4".
Yeah.
Could you imagine seeing Boban out there catching touchdown passes? I mean, that's the dude who wouldn't even have to jump. You know, you throw it in the back corner of the end zone. That dude wouldn't even have to jump. He just needs to run there, stand there, and put his arms up because nobody is going to be able to defend that guy.
It's truly fascinating. It really is. I love hearing the conversation. I just think there's never going to be a winner, Diesel. I don't think they're ever going to convince anyone that it can be done.
We got a message here from Trey. Said, don't forget about Brian Jordan. He played for the Falcons and for the Braves.
Thank you, Trey. We appreciate
there you go,
that.
Trey. Bringing back anecdotal name number 3.
Heck yeah. Coming up next, our Daily Wires, the Daily Buzz. You call them headlines. We call them Daily Wires. What did South Carolina Clemson baseball do last night? What did the Braves do last night? And where do we see those three specifically trending from this point forward? He's Diesel. I'm Cole Bryson, and this is the Fan Upstate.
Cole or Diesel.
upstate.
We are live at Ingles, baby. Let's go. Every other Wednesday, guess where you can find Diesel and I? You can find us at a different Ingles market. So glad to have you along for the ride today. He's Diesel. I'm Cole Bryson, and I believe, Diesel, I did get my internet issue over here fixed, so I should be back in the stream now. Want to go over the daily wires for today, Diesel. So many interesting things going on leading up to the postseason. You know, I've told you this a lot, and I've always been an anticipation kind of guy. I love Fridays because the weekend's approaching. It gets me excited. I love, like, this time of year in college baseball because you're playing very, very meaningful games. We know that what's going to happen in a couple of weeks is going to either send teams to the next round or send them home. So for Clemson and Carolina, we've talked about it several times, the pressure's on. Like, you got to win now. Regardless of your schedule, you have to figure out a way to win. In South Carolina and Clemson both, regardless of the bullpen or lack thereof for Clemson and the infield errors, they're both winning right now. So last night, Diesel, Clemson improves to 36-10 on the season with a 14-12 win over Charlotte. South Carolina improves to 33-15 last night with a 15-3 win at Winthrop. I want to stop and pause there for a second. If I told you that today is May, the 8th? Today's May 8th, Diesel. I'm not going to reveal to you Carolina's schedule. I'm not going to reveal to you Clemson's schedule. But I'm going to tell you that as we enter the last two weekend series, Clemson has 10 losses total, which is mighty impressive. Sure. You would probably say to me, Diesel, okay, they're going to be a host, right? No doubter, no brainer. Well, South Carolina, Diesel, they only have 15 losses, 5 more losses than Clemson.
It's a very impressive season as well to only lose 15 games.
Oh, you say so?
Yeah.
Oh, so you wouldn't say it's time to get rid of the coach?
No.
You wouldn't say that they're not playing well? You wouldn't say things that we hear from the South Carolina fan base over and over? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of South Carolina baseball fans who treat their coach the way Georgia felt about Mark Richt. And the two could not be farther from the truth, right? I mean, Mark Richt could never get them anywhere close.
Yeah.
And that's not the situation at South Carolina.
It's not. What's interesting is, down the stretch, as we talked about Monday, South Carolina and Clemson's schedule is very different down the stretch. The only good team that Clemson's playing in the last 4 series is Wake Forest. Louisville's not good. Georgia Tech's not good. And Boston College sure as heck ain't good, right? South Carolina down the stretch, they better win them. They got Kentucky. They got Missouri. They got Georgia, who just took 2 of 3 this past weekend. You got Tennessee, number 1 team in the country. South Carolina down the stretch, they are going to be tested, Diesel, in these last 2 weekend series in a way that Clemson is not. I do anticipate, I will tell you today, that I do anticipate South Carolina hosting a regional because I do think that they're playing good enough baseball right now to be able to make a run with Georgia, potentially get 2 of 3 in a perfect world. Obviously, 3 of 3, getting the sweep against a really good Georgia team would be incredible. But as I said on Monday, you give me 2 wins for South Carolina, potentially 3 against Georgia, even though Tennessee's number 1 in the country, even though they're playing better than anyone right now, Diesel, I would still take South Carolina with a game, maybe 2, if their starting rotation continues to pitch as well as they have. The strength of schedule, we've talked about that. We've talked about the RPI. But the bottom line is South Carolina only has 5 more losses on the season than Clemson, yet everyone wants to fire Kingston. Everyone wants to get rid of Mark Kingston, and I know it. He's been there for 6 or 7 years, so it's been tough.
There is something to be said, Cole, for for having a schedule that's backloaded versus a schedule that's front-loaded. The truth is South Carolina's schedule is loaded across the board. Like they have not played a whole lot of series against teams that are not ranked inside the top 25. I mean, it's tough to find. Ole Miss is the only conference series I'm looking at right here against a team that was not ranked when they played. So they've been playing ranked opponents week in and week out, and we talk about it with the Atlanta Braves and what happened to them at the end of last season when they got the first round bye and they didn't have to play meaningful competition. Yeah, they were still playing baseball. People made a big deal about, Atlanta's got their AAA team playing against them so that they can still be playing baseball and not get rusty. Well, let's see how that worked out for them, right? And Clemson's last couple of series maybe a little bit easier than South Carolina's last couple of series. Yeah. And maybe it comes back to bite them. Maybe it doesn't. I mean, Clemson played a lot of really good baseball teams over the course of the season, and just because the last two series of the season aren't as impressive on paper doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to hurt them. What will hurt them is the fact that you talked about it earlier in the show, the fact that Clemson's bullpen late in games is hanging them out to dry. Yep. I mean, they gave up a lot of runs to Charlotte late in that game last night that they should not have given up. I mean, that is ugly to give that up against a team like Charlotte that is a sub-500 baseball team. You can't do that to teams like that. You got to be able to put your foot on the throat. And Clemson, for whatever reason, from the bullpen, doesn't really seem to be able to do that. They're able to score runs throughout the game. We're not talking about that. We're talking about their ability to shut teams down late. And they don't really have that.
In the NBA last night, Diesel, finishing up our daily wires, Boston defeated Cleveland in Game 1 last night, 120-95 to take a 1-0 series lead. And the Mavs Thunder. I told someone yesterday, I believe it was Wesley. I told Wesley yesterday on the stream that I would take Mavs plus 3.5. But, Wesley, if you remember, if you're still listening, I prefaced that by saying, don't listen to me for gambling advice, right? And that reigned true last night. Mavs plus 3.5 wasn't even close to hitting. It seems like the Oklahoma City Thunder and in the West, the Minnesota Timberwolves are on a collision course. I thought that the Thunder might be a little overrated, but it's Game 1. We'll see if the Mavs can make a comeback. Atlanta defeated Boston last night, Diesel 4-2, so the Braves get back on the winning side of things. They are now 21-12 on the season. Even though they're playing bad, even though they're not hitting the ball, the 21-12 start still sets you up to be in the hunt as long as you can maintain that.
Yeah, the Braves found a way to win late. I mean, a lot of the Braves players who had hot bats going into going into the road trip that really cooled them off, their bats stayed cold last night. But again, finding a way to win late really matters, and your ability to win games when you're not playing particularly well. This is a confidence booster, and they'll think back on it later on in the season and remember, oh yeah, even when we weren't playing particularly well, we were able to beat the Red Sox late.
Tonight, the Braves are again against Boston. As we said yesterday, it's just a 2-game series. The Boston Red Sox tonight. Atlanta is favored at home, however, as Chris Sale is on the mound for the Braves. Sale 4-1 of the season, 3.44 ERA, 36 innings pitched. Nick Pivetta for Boston will take the mound tonight. He is 1-1. Only 11 innings pitched for him, so he hasn't seen a ton of experience this season. Braves, again, are favored to win tonight, so it would be good if they can get back on track. But the players that everybody hates, Diesel, Marcell Ozuna, he's the one that continues to be the man for the Braves. He's pulling them through time after time.
The Big Bear. Cole, we asked the question earlier in the show, does anybody know of a player, an athlete, who played in both the NBA and the NFL? Nobody knew any of these guys who did it, and I found 2 guys who played in both the NFL and the NBA, but you got to go way back, Cole. You got to go back to the mid-40s and early 50s to find 2 athletes who played both in the NFL and in the NBA, Otto Graham and Bud Grant. Never heard of them. I haven't either. Never heard of either of these guys. But I did find out in my research, Cole, that Danny Ainge is another one of those guys that played in 2 major leagues. Danny Ainge, everybody knows him from playing in the NBA with the Kings, the Trailblazers, the Suns. But Danny Ainge also played 3 seasons in Major League Baseball from 1979 through 1981. How about that? Shocker. I would have never in a million years guessed that Danny Ainge played pro baseball.
Before we get to a break, Diesel, and hear from the general manager of the Spartanburg Baseball Club, Tyson Jeffers, I want to circle back to what we talked about in the very first segment, and then we'll give a clue. Not quite. We will give a clue right before we get to break for hour number 3. Clue number 4 this time?
We got clue number 4 coming up.
So stay tuned. We'll have
this is the dead giveaway
for you. Yeah, I thought number 3 was, but we'll see if 4 does it as well. I want to circle back, though, before we get to that, on what you brought up in the very first segment of the show today. And that was a piece of audio. I don't know if Brandon still has this audio in queue, but it was from another big-name coach, as you pointed out, Brian Kelly.
Yep.
What's interesting about the point that you brought up with big-name coaches also siding with Dabo?
I have it in queue.
Is the fact that a guy like Brian Kelly has no other choice at LSU, right? I don't want to say Dabo's on a higher pedestal or a higher platform than Brian Kelly, but I would say,
is.
Well, okay.
Brian Kelly doesn't have national titles.
Sure, and that's kind of my point. Like, if you're Dabo, you have 2 national championships. You can get away with saying that. If you're Brian Kelly, you really can't be on that train.
No,
you got to win.
That's true, and I think a lot of these coaches probably feel like they're held hostage with their beliefs versus what they have to do to go out and win football games. Look, I'm sure that a majority of coaches would tell you behind the scenes in a closed room, guys, I hate dealing with NIL. I hate dealing with the portal. I hate having to re-recruit my roster every year. I hate having to throw big money at a 19-year-old guy to get him to come here. I hate having to deal with these prima donnas who expect all this money. But I have to do it, right? I have no other choice because if I don't do it, Lane over at Ole Miss will. Or, Mike Elko over at Texas A&M will, because they got a ton of money and they're able to throw all of it around because it doesn't mean anything to them because they got so much of it. These coaches, I would be shocked if it was more than 25%, Cole, 1 out of 4 coaches who tell you genuinely, I love the portal. I love dealing with these prima donnas. I love throwing money at them.
I agree.
They don't want to deal with it.
No, I think you're right.
But a lot of them feel like they can't voice this. Number 1, they feel like it's going to cost them recruits, which is true. Number 2, they know that it's going to be a huge bleep storm in the media. Anytime they open their mouths and they give their opinions, we know what it's like, Cole, to voice opinions. You're not allowed to. You get smacked around when you voice opinions. But they know that they can't voice their opinion the way that they want to. They can't be truthful about their opinions with NIL and the portal. And Brian Kelly finally came out and said it, another big-name, influential coach in the sport, saying we are not in the business of buying players.
And for those that haven't heard the audio, I want you to hear the audio from Brian Kelly that Diesel is referencing. Brandon, appreciate you pulling that up. If you don't mind, let's hear what Brian Kelly had to say.
We're selling something a little bit differently, and that is we want to recruit, we want to engage, build relationships, we want to develop, retain, and have success. We're not in the market of buying players, and unfortunately, right now, that's what some guys are looking for. They want to be bought, and look, I understand NIL is part of this, and we have an incredible collective. We have very, very generous opportunities around the greater Baton Rouge area for NIL opportunities. So they are here, but we're not going to go out and buy players. That's not what this is about. This was never about that.
Who does that sound like, Cole? Who does that sound like? That sounds just like Dabo.
What does he mean, though? And I would love to have been in that room when Brian Kelly said that, because I would like to ask a follow-up question, Diesel, and what does he mean by we're not in the business of buying players? However, we do have the NIL money. Like, how do you play both sides in that?
Yeah, that's a really interesting conversation. I mean, he's saying that there are businesses around Baton Rouge who are willing to throw NIL money at players. But we as LSU, as a policy, it is not what we want to do. It is not what we want to be, to become the school that says, all right, we'll throw $1 million at this guy. We'll throw $800,000 at that guy.
So do you care more about your reputation of the school than you do winning? Going back to my point, it doesn't matter if you agree or disagree with it. And that's where so many people, in my opinion, don't understand. Like, you have to have an open mind. Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean I don't think it should happen. Yesterday's conversation with Rob, I don't agree with a lot of things that happen in college football, but guess what? What do Diesel, those coaches in college football, get paid to do?
Win
games.
That's all they get paid to do.
They don't get into, well, did you, how much? No, they don't get that. They get paid to win.
Yeah.
So, like, coaches are in the toughest spot because I don't want to say coaches are in the toughest. Let me rephrase that. Coaches are in a tough spot in today's game compared to what it was 10, 15 years ago, because coaches do have opinions. So it hurts coaches. It hurts their look. It hurts their image when they do speak out on these things.
I think this is going to if NIL and the portal continues unchecked, I think it's really going to hurt the coach-player relationship, because the coach now says to himself, this star player, I shouldn't care about you because you're going to leave.
That's right.
I shouldn't. Running back who got me 1,000 yards last year, I'm not going to buddy up to you and be close to you, because you know what? You're probably going to leave me.
That's an excellent point, because what does that go back to? What does that tie back to? That ties back to the conversation between the Mr. and the Mrs. Who am I talking about? Mr. Nick Saban and Mrs. Nick Saban. The conversation he and her had about retirement. She said, her words, this used to be about building relationships. This used to be about bettering the players. On the field. This used to be about preparing
for life.
For life and for the NFL. And guess what? Nick and his wife realized that none of that matters anymore. None of it matters, Diesel.
Speaking of winning, Cole, here, I'm going to give you the fourth clue, and I think you'll know the answer to our trivia question. If you think you know what product this is, it's available inside of every Ingles market. Come on by, put your name in the hat, and you could score a $25 Ingles gift card. Clue number one, multicolored varieties with multiple meanings. Clue number two, one of the varieties of this item has an everyday drink in the name. I think that's the hardest clue of them all.
It is.
Number three, this item is more popular certain days of the year, but they are nice to receive anytime. And then number four, yellow blank of Texas.
Yeah.
Yellow blank of Texas. If you think you know what that is, swing on by here at 8004 Warren H. Abernathy Highway in Spartanburg. Tell Corey the answer to the trivia question. You can win a $25 Ingles gift card. Cole, when we come back, we are going to replay our fantastic conversation from earlier in the show with Tyson Jeffers, GM of the Spartanburg Baseball Club. You'll learn all about the big reveal event happening this weekend. That's coming up next here on Wire to Wire. I'm Diesel. He's Cole Bryson. Tolo. I think it would be a blast.
I just really hope, like, you and I will be there. We hope our listeners, our Tolos, will be there as well.
How about the Spartanburg sweep?
Spartanburg sweep.
You're trying to sweep a series?
I don't hate it.
I like alliteration, right?
I do too.
I love alliteration.
I do too. I just hope these when they do it, when they make the announcement, I hope it's not you know, like I really hope it's so good that people are excited because that will ruin. You talk about a buzzkill?
Yeah,
that'll be deadly. We don't want that Saturday.
Yeah, we don't want the scene from the water boy towards the middle, and they're like, "Oh no, we suck."
So Diesel and I are going to be all over the place, I'm sure. As you heard Tyson Jeffers say, it's all happening on one street, basically. Mm-hmm. So Daniel Morgan, that's where it's at. We want you to be there. Diesel and I will be on Facebook and Twitter. I don't know how. You know what we could do? You could have your phone on Facebook. I could have mine on Twitter live, and it could turn into something that's really, really, just comical in terms of not being a professional broadcast. That's what it needs to be, right? Just throw them together.
What are the rules on dropping F-bombs on Facebook Live if we're not over the air?
I do not think that there are. I don't know. There are
advise against it.
Advise against.
Okay.
I'm sure that's what our boss would say.
Yeah.
Like, probably not a good idea. If I had to guess what words he'd use, I would say no. Maybe that's what the words he would use.
Madcraft says, how about the Spartanburg sliders? You could have a snake mascot throwing the ball. You could have any animal throwing the ball.
Again, I don't hate sliders. It would be weird. It'd be interesting. I hope it's not a snake. I don't want it to be a snake. That's just kind of, we don't want to be known as a snake, do we? I don't think it's going to be an animal, though.
I don't think so either. I don't think so. Animals are overdone in college athletics, and most of the time they're not even fresh, so they're not even interesting.
I hope they just come out and kick it in the teeth, man. Like it's better than the drive. It's just like, and this is terrible, but you said you don't like the drive name, the name of the drive. And, I don't hate it. I don't love it, but
right, exactly. You're meh on the name.
I'm meh. Spartanburg needs to come out and just kick it in the teeth, like I said, dude. They didn't come out and bring it strong, and let's really do this thing big. I can't wait.
What is the best upstate? This is maybe a conversation for Friday, as I'm not going to be here with you tomorrow. I'm going to be in Charlotte seeing Foo Fighters tomorrow.
That's not.
What is the best upstate professional sports mascot we've ever had? We've had the Growl. We've had the Road Warriors, the Swamp Rabbits.
Greenville Growl is the best we've ever had.
Greenville Growl is good. It's very good. We had the Rhinos for a while.
And even Diesel, you know how many people I've heard say the Swamp Rabbits just aren't the same? Like, when I was growing up.
The Road Warriors was a great mascot.
Well, I just tell you this. I remember going to Growl games growing up, and there were people in the stands. Like, it wasn't – and again, I'm not throwing shade, but it wasn't like it is now.
Madcraft says it's going to be the Beacons.
That would be terrible. That would be absolutely terrible. The Spartanburg Beacons. I wanted to make a beacon joke earlier.
You could have the logo be a lighthouse.
Onion rings falling out of it.
Yeah, you just put two big onion rings beside it, so you got the lighthouse there
and a grease trap under the lighthouse.
Oh man.
We'll see you tomorrow, man. I had fun. That was a lot of fun.